My king, this woke shit was just delivered.
Excellent. My people will love it.
No! Woke jeans. Thank you, SNL. That was a cut from SNL, so hopefully I don't get a strike for that. But thanks to SNL for that nice little woke segment. They're not brown, but they're not brown, right? They got the zipper that runs all the way through. Greb. Right, it's just funny, right? I think it's pretty funny. I want to say hey to everybody out there. We got some cool stuff. Ken, stick around. I'm going to get to you in a minute. I'm poking at you. This is going to be funny. You guys, I need you to back me up on this. All right, let me catch up. Let me catch up to everybody. Oh, I need my glasses. All right, of course I'm late because my daughter was over and I wound up, hanging out with her. Hey, Christina, are you there? All right, she was asking. I think she might stop in tonight. Put it up on the TV and whatever. So let's see. We got Ken's here. Dilly. Brett's here. Ken Small Engines. Drunken Jim. He says he's here. Welcome, Drunken Jim. I'm here. And let's see. Brett. Rat. Ken. He was. Let's see. Who are we talking about? Ken says BS Small Engines, right? I'm pretty sure that's the guy with the old flathead that lives on Long Island, right? Is that the one I'm thinking of? Let me know. I don't see anything. I was just looking, and I think I'm the only one that of my people that I'm subscribed to, at least, that is doing a live right now. So I think that's the guy. By the way, I watched that video of his with that flathead. I think he said it was on a wood chip, not a wood chipper. It was some kind of wood machine splitter, maybe. This thing is mint. This thing is absolutely mint. What a cool project. Like, what a cool engine to have. It ran super sweet. And I might even play a little bit about that later on, because I also wanted to show off the way he films his footage, because it's actually pertinent to some stuff I was saying more recently about lighting and everything. And it makes a difference. For some simple, cheap lights and simple techniques, and you can tell because everything is super well lit. The footage is very good, and it just makes for better videos. Let me catch up here. See, Rusty Roos is here. Hey, Rusty, he says, talk loud, Arch. I'm driving and hard of hearing. Like, when do I not talk loud? I'm like the loudest person I know. Let's see, Mr. Modal took a hiatus. They're talking about something about Bruce maybe stopping in. That would be cool. I think Bruce just may stop in. Yeah, I'm late. I was just hanging out with my daughter for a while. Brett says, Greta Van Fleet. Yeah. Awesome band. They sound like Zeppelin. Yeah, we were talking about that recently. Oh, whoa. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Hold on. We were talking about that recently. Ken says, looks like MC Hammer Pants. Yeah, absolutely. I thought it was a great skit, and it's nice to see that they, we need to get back to comedy. And for a while there, you guys might have remembered that, you weren't allowed to say anything. People were so sensitive. You got to laugh at things, whatever they are. You got to have some fun with them a little bit. Johnny Bravo says, even gents and ladies, if they're there. And let's see, Jelly Roll. I thought that was a funny skit. Bravo says, drinking game tonight every time. Nova John says, fellas, take a sip. When he says lubrication, take 2 sips. That is funny. Henry's here. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Christina, she's here. Yeah. Hey, T, you're on my TV and you're wearing my hoodie. Yes. I was just going to ask her to stop in, so she's here. Henry, once again, let me catch up. Let's see. Good evening, Arch. Francis Lang. Welcome again. Tractor. Rhett says, John Clem's here. What's up, John? Let's see. Ossifer Ken's around Mr. Mo-it-all. Ossifer John. Yep, Ossifer. That's what my friend Liz used to say. That's what they used to call the cops, Ossifers. We didn't do that. What's up? John Clem. I don't even know. So let's get to Ken. I got a finger to point at Ken. So I wasn't around and I wanted to show you what I picked up today. Mikey was here, right, Mikey? And thanks, shout out to TJ. I gave Mikey a shirt. He didn't have a black one, so I gave him a shirt. So that was pretty cool. So I had something for Mike because Mike takes good care of me. He brought a really cool snowblower, big snowblower with like a 10 horsepower with the Tecumseh, right? I've been working on a lot of these lately, and I haven't released all the videos yet. So I've been blessed with all of these, some of my favorite snowblowers of that vintage. They're about 10 years or so. The one on the table over here I'm working on right now, I think is like late 90s, so maybe a little bit older. But this is a green one, okay? And I like the green vintage series. This one's nice. Wait till you see it. It even has a hub locker on it. It's got the thing that you pull out. It's like a knurled knob, and you pull it out. It is missing the roll pin that goes in there, so it doesn't stay out. That must have fallen out, but you pull it out, and you just kind of twist it, and the key sort of keeps it sprung load and keeps it out, and then, you know, you got the one-wheel peel so you can turn this big machine. It's beautiful. Where do you guys see that? So let's see. Let me catch up, Francis Lang. So that was cool. Yeah, the knurled knob. This thing's really cool, and I want to give him at least $100 for it. It's got a few issues. We'll take a look at that in a little bit. But it's just one of my favorites. And, of course, it's, obviously a little bit more modern than... What is this on my table here? It's a little bit more modern than my 826, which has no safeties. It doesn't have electric start. And, with my back and everything, it's nice to have electric start, especially... Here it doesn't always snow or snow a lot, and it might sit. It's nice to have an electric start for that first start of the year if it's a bit, troublesome, problematic. I work on this stuff. I try to keep things nice, but it's like, the carpenter and the shoemaker's kids never have any shoes. It's that kind of thing. You try to take care of your stuff, but it's always somebody else's stuff that you try to take care of. And trying to start that big Briggs motor on my 826, and I started up this year, but it gave me a little bit of guff. I put a video out on that, and I got it rolling. When I first hurt my back, I bought the Honda with electric and, easy fold-up handle and all this stuff. And my daughter was what, T? What were you, about 10, 11, 12, 13, whatever you were? She cut the lawn for the longest time because my back was really messed up. And the last thing you want to do is be pulling on a big motor and torquing and twisting your body. So I was thinking about it. I'm like, let me see. I'll try to, square some time aside to get it rolling. If nobody buys it, I don't want to give it away for some couple $100 price. If nobody buys it and doesn't give me the correct money, I think I'm going to keep it. Because it's getting harder to find these cool old machines, and you can't just give them all away, right? You got to keep something. Let's see what T says here. Brett says, let me back up. It was a knurled. Yes, knurled, Ken. I love that thing. Probably 10, 11. Yeah, we still have it. We have a different one, though. The original one I bought brand new, and that one, because I didn't really take care of it, it got a little beat up. And I wound up with the HRX that I have is actually one that got traded for another machine, and it was wound up in a little bit better shape. So I kept that one, right? And that's the one I put the electric, let's see, I think I put a Tecumseh coil on it, believe it or not. That coil, I did an episode where I put the electric charging system on it, and I don't think it's a Honda charging coil. I believe it is, I want to say a Tecumseh coil with the charging circuit on it, and that's what runs that Honda. I'm almost positive of it because I know the inventory that I get on average, and I don't think I ever got a Honda coil with a charging stator on it. I don't think I ever came across anything like that. I don't remember ever having that. Let's see. I wish mine was electric start. That 870 Tecumseh is a bugger to pull over. Yeah, and if you've got a bad back, also sometimes, now it's been pretty good, knock wood. I've been trying to take care of my back. I bought the lift. I bought a bunch of other things, and I've been trying to, protect it and use it more appropriately. But there are times when you're working hard, you're not really thinking about it, and then you got like one more thing to do that day, or you're going to work like one more day that you probably shouldn't work. And then you go and turn, and some of you guys may know the feeling. You go to turn, and you're like, uh-oh, everything locks up, everything goes electric, and you can't move. You're like, uh-oh. And I'm out here, and I'm like, okay, I got to close up. I got to turn everything off. I got to make my way into the house, get what I need to get upstairs, and that's going to be the rest of the day. And that's the end of it. And it happens, you know. Fortunately, like I said, it hasn't happened in a while, but it can. Let's see what else we got here. Mr. Moore will break. Yeah, they like to break my stones. Yes, yeah, we're going to, Brett says, keep it, Arch. You'll kick yourself in the ass if you get rid of it. I know, that's what I said to you about the Toro that you have. You may not come across that kind of machine and that kind of deal, especially with things going up and everything today. And I caught Ken's small engine. I was busy with Mike and doing other things, so I was watching the replay. And that's what we're going to get to in a minute. And this is as far as I got, right, tonight. Catch up as well. My wife said to me at dinner tonight, you have no friends. I said, have you seen YouTube? Yeah, I know, right? She says, I got plenty, thank you. Yeah, and good ones. And you should say to her, I got plenty of friends. You know what? They're better than yours. Wait, hold on. Get to that. Brother says, Ken, same here, except I don't have a wife. Friends online are awesome. I know, totally. All right, so now we got to give Ken a hard time. So this is the part I came up to. So if any of you know or watch Ken's today, so Simone, right, is this, nice young lady from the UK. So she's on there, and basically, here's this bunch of old fart guys like me hanging around. She puts up with you fellas, comes on, puts up with you. She barely said a peep the entire show that I watched up to the point where this happens. So finally, she opens up her mouth and she starts to talk about her car, right, that she's into. She barely gets going, and this idiot starts to interrupts her, steps all over, and starts playing that show where guess this thing, and he just stepped right on Simone. I'm like, what are you doing? What did you do that for? Right? The poor girl, she put up with you fellas all the time throughout the whole show. She finally starts to talk. I actually want to listen to what she has to say. And I'm like, oh, good. She's finally saying something. Nope. Ken comes right in. He goes, oh, that reminds me. Bam, shuts the girl down. I'm like, what are you doing? And then I think Bruce and maybe one other person kind of picked up on that because what is this? Bruce is second or third marriage, right? So, and he's older, so he knows. Ken doesn't. He's clueless. So he's trying to say stuff about Simone's car and she's trying to throw it in and keep stepping on her, right? I'm like, oh my God, I can't. Then I had to go do stuff. I'm like, oh man. I'm like, the poor girl. You're bad, bro. You bad. You should apologize to her. Because she's like I said, she puts up with you and us and everybody else. And I really kind of felt bad for her because she's more like a demure, quiet. She doesn't have a loud voice. I mean, it's not like Stella, because Stella will just slap you upside the head, right? If you guys don't behave and you really rub her or she really wants to do something, Stella will just come in, just slap you guys up the head. You guys will giggle about it, right? She'll take care of you. She'll lay you out, right? Simone's not like that, You got to give her some a little bit of leeway there to work it in, Otherwise, she'll just get mad, and then you'll never see her again, and that would be sad. Because women don't come. Well, my daughter comes to my show, but women don't hang out in my show, right? They don't come here. So I'm so mad now. I'm angry. So while I'm angry. All right, let's go take a walk, right? We're going to go do a little drive. I figured we'll go relax a little bit. It'll shut me down a little bit, shut my big mouth. Let's take a ride real quick to 1940s George Washington Bridge, right? This is pretty cool. I like these segments, so I want to throw this one up there. Stand by. Fellas, where's all the traffic? Look at this. I mean, I would drive this. Look at this. This is beautiful. There is a toll somewhere. You'll see it. I don't know what they're doing with it. I think you're going to see this bus coming up. Look at this bus here on the right. It's this one or the one in front of it. I think it's the one, yeah, the one in front of it. It looks like it's driving backwards, like the back could be the front. I don't know if they're towing it. I'm not sure what's going on here, right? Maybe they're towing it because that looks like the front. See the headlights or something? Or maybe it is brake lights. Doesn't that look like it could be the front? I mean, I would love these buses. You guys ever see the bus mechanic? Like the bus show? He's got this bus show. It's awesome. I know, it does look clear. I did enhance it a little bit, but it's bright. It's a nice day. It may have also been processed before me. But the cars look 40-ish. And again, like there's no traffic. I mean, if this was my commute every day, I would do it. Now I can't handle traffic. I freak out. If this was something I had to do, this is like a Sunday drive. Yeah, I would think that this would be like 1950, something like that, after the war. Some of these cars look like early 50s. But that's how they labeled it, as 1940s. But I find that their labeling isn't always accurate. Look at this, nobody around. There's the tolls up there. Yeah, see? Yeah. And I don't trust the audio either. Oh man, I want some of these cars. We're gonna need a bigger property. Yeah, the engine audio doesn't seem right. Oh, I heard a two-stroker. I wouldn't want to be that car parked right there. That's not a good spot. That's a cool car, though. I gotta get my hands on some of this stuff. Ugh. Come back. Yeah, that's some cool stuff. All right, let me catch up with you guys. Yeah, there's some nice stuff there. Let me catch up. Yeah, so I'm just busting your chops, Ken. Yeah, she's a cool chick. Well, they're both cool chicks. But I just thought that was funny because it's like, what are you doing? Stop! Stop it! Leave her alone. Cool bus. Yeah, that bus is hot. Just all of those vehicles, they just have so much character. Like today, I look out in the street, I look at these cars. I don't know what they are. I don't even care. I don't care. What the hell do I care about? They're too expensive for me anyway. It could be, I want to guess that a lot of this stuff is somewhere 55 and a little bit earlier. It can be a little difficult to find some stuff during the war years per se. And especially when it comes to like film footage that's quality. Let's see, Robert says, I don't think I'll be up along. I'm starting to feel like dilly-dilly because I'm feeling like a dog turd. Oh, feel better, Robert. No turns, no shit. Yeah, Ken says. Looks like 1950 to 51. Yeah. He says 54 just went by. Yep. Henry, were these 1940 autos? He's asking Henry. Yeah. Bravo says, yeah, that's a 50-ish 49, 50 Fords there. And those are just beautiful cars. Ken says 52 Chevy went by. Yeah. Could be 52, 53. Yeah. It's hard to date this stuff. Mr. Walls, smog, EPA. I know. I saw that. You see that what do you call it? Piping out that black smoke, right? That big smokestack actually pumping out smoke. Francis says, I will take any one of those cars to restore. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, especially if they were in that shape now. You know, that 55 that I was showing you guys broke my heart. I've been looking at a few others, too, and I was telling you guys about there's a lot of T-Birds out there. Now, I'm not a big fan of T-Birds, but there are a lot of them out here, especially here on Long Island. So I've been thinking about doing something like that. I don't have the money, but, you know, if I were to dream for the future, next couple of years, it says, it looks too crisp for such an old video. Yeah, well, I did a little bit of tweaking, but today with digital enhancement, you can do a lot, plus they colorize them. And if it was on good film, it should be fine. I mean, you know, film is film. I mean, look at the movies they made back in those days. Those movies admit. And if you take care of the film and you transfer it to digital, you're going to get good video. Now, the audio is another question. Let's see, Mr. Wallace is 46 Ford. Yes, that was a two-stroker or something. There was some two-stroker in the background. I think that audio is from several other of these videos, personally, because I kind of hear the same sounds. John Clem says, Francis, are you doing a video on it? And says, Simone texted me before she came on, asked me to show her what it is in the photo of a manual choke conversion kit for a 71 Cortina. Yeah, I'm just breaking your shoes, bro. Let's see. No, I'm not, John. Francis says he's not going to do that. Thanks, John. Francis says, all I need are 2 front seats now, but can't find any. Yeah, that's the other thing. You may have to find something and put it in there. I watch another guy that does a lot of work. He's up in Canada, and you know, if you're not restoring and you're just modding and rodding, you know, Half-Ass Customs, check him out. He's awesome. You make stuff fit, and that's what he does. 55, 57 T-Bird's nice. I like the 57 F supercharged model. Yeah, I mean, the particular models that I like are the round taillights, the ones that look like jet exhaust. That's like 63, 62, 63, maybe 64, somewhere in that range. that one, I found one, and my daughter says, "I'll buy it for you." It's like $2,000. I'm like, no, you can't be doing that. But that's thinking about it along the lines of, one, it would be interesting for the channel because I love cars. I love anything with an engine. I love anything that goes vroom vroom. I really don't care what it is. Although around here, because we don't use things like chainsaws and stuff a lot, it's not an absolute necessity. And I see the way people are with them, which scares the F out of me. I was like, I used to do them, and I'm like, no, unless I come across something mint, which I'll probably keep for myself, I don't like the idea of working on them and selling them, which it's just not important in this area. There is a small market, but it's very small. It's not worth it. It's really dangerous, and I just don't like it. So I try to stay away from it. But other than that, and some of the two-stroke snowblowers, I turned down one the other day. A guy called me up, and he was talking about something very similar on that machine that I did. It was a Toro. I said it would be like the last two-stroke snowblower I would ever do, snow thrower. I wound up doing TJ's because it was in such mint shape, and it was for his brother, and it was in mint shape, and it was a real survivor. It's not. It doesn't even have anything to do with the EPA or anything. It's like people don't take care of them, and then you have the issue if they didn't put the right fuel in, which usually kills the motors. I mean, the carburetors, I don't care, but then they get older and like a seal will leak, and to get to the seal, you got to pull the pulleys off, which half the time you're going to have to heat the seal. Heat the pulleys. They're trying to pull them off, which means it's going to heat the seal, even if the seal wasn't bad. It is now. And then there's other seals and gaskets, and there's just my real love when it comes to snowblowers, which Clem knows all about, is like what's on the table over there, which I want to show you. This thing coming up. Let me set it up. That's for wintertime stuff. It's the older snowblowers, the older machines. I find something around about 10, 15 years old. I even go back as much as 20. If you go back to like late 90s, early 2000s, what you find, by and large, is most of it's made in the United States. Not all of it, like this machine here and another one that I did recently, which was newer, which will come out soon, that had some Chinese Takumi parts on it. The pull starter was Chinese. There was a bunch of other things on it that was Chinese. But by and large, they were made in the United States, mostly from locally, sourced stuff. They were just good enough and strong enough to be durable enough to where if they didn't fall off the back of a truck, they're repairable. They're not complicated, so they're easy to work on. There's not a lot that just breaks. Whatever does is available. It's really beefy. Other than rot, which is always a problem, but here on the island, we go through periods where you'll see salt, sand, snow, slush, ice, freezing temperatures, rain, then nothing. Then nothing. Like it might have a cold snap or something one year, like last year. I got like an inch of snow the whole year. So they don't wear like they would for somebody that's up in Canada or Michigan or some of the other states. And like I said, they're just beefy enough to be able to handle the years, even years of neglect. And there's so many parts available. So they're very successful. They come out really nice. The customers love them. The pricing with everything going up, this guy recently just picked up, is a contract. He picked up a couple of machines, which I'll show you a little bit about them. A couple $100. I went over them. That's not going to be a lot of money. And it's not the only machines he has. And these are going to sit, and he'll run them every now and then, and he'll care for them. And then when he really needs them, especially on a year where we get a ton of snow, if he has to, he can bring a bunch of machines to bear. Like Pate and his wife does this when we have snow, but he's got people that work for him. So whatever's working, he could put a man on it, make his money, take on all these jobs for whatever customers he's got. If one breaks, he's just got to go get it or take it with him, right? So that's mint. That's exactly what I'm talking about. So I like to tell, on the videos, I like to tell people, I make the suggestion, if you see one, best time to get is around summertime. we get for 100 and change, right? I want to give Mikey at least $100 for this thing. So let me show you real quick. So this is just one of the ones I'm working on. This is the beat, the level of beat that it is. Hold on. But it's really beautiful now. Hold on. I'm just going to show you this part of it. Let me move everything around and catch up at you fellas. Just got to move some windows around. We'll bring up the right monitor. Let's see. Yeah, see two-stroke. I'm doing a video. Mr. Roll, text me before. John, Big Dog Repair. Thanks, John. Like, seats, I can't find any. Okay, good. Let's see. 55 T-Birds would be nice. 62 with Tayo cover red. I like my 19. Yeah, 77 Craftsman. Well, I have the older Toro, the 826, and Mikey set me up with a backup machine, so I have parts for it. But that has like no safeties on it, and it's not electric start. So there's those issues, and it's complicated. And fortunately, I have a backup machine for it. So if something does break, I have the part. But it's a really big machine that will go through anything or over anything. But the machine I want to show you in a bit, it's big, it's beefy, it's beautiful, and it's easier to use. It has all the hand controls. It's a little bit more comfortable. It's electric start. It's the old green Craftsman. It's got the 10 horsepower Takumi on it. I mean, it's tin. It's not as thick and heavy as my Toro, but what's not to like, right? So yeah, just real quick, getting back to the cars, a friend of mine, he's successfully retired, like lawyer and businessman, and he's down in North Carolina. He went all the way up to Canada to pick up a nice T-Bird, older T-Bird. And it was a beautiful car. It had been redone, but not everything was redone really well, and not everything was redone. So he's been going over it. Took it to a show, actually took it to one of the races down there where they get the track for the day, and he had it on the track. Been enjoying it. Convertible, puts the top down, drove his, I think, future son-in-law around, a friend of his wife, that kind of stuff. And has been enjoying it. And I've seen these around for years and thought, well, they're kind of neat, in their own way. I mean, I was more into Mustangs and, Novas and everything else. But now I'm thinking like, well, these cars were around a lot, and they're pretty nice cars. Some of them have a lot of electric appointments. Some of them don't. Some have roll-up windows, but a lot of them had AC and electric windows and, the creature comforts that a lot of us, like, we can't really live without especially when you get older. And they were never really the cars that, like the Nova was targeted because it was cheap. You could cut the back end off of it, back half it, put gigantic tires on it, put whatever motor you wanted. I mean, they got used up every which way to Sunday. Camaro, of course, right? And all of that stuff is going for big money now. These things are a few $1,000s. For 10 grand, you can get a really nice one. For about $5,000 to $6,000, you can get something similar to what my friend has. It might need paint, it might need a few things, but by and large, it's a driver. For a few grand, or a little over $1,000, you can get a parts machine. And my thinking was, well, if I bought something, don't fall in love with it. Maybe just put it on the channel, noodle around with it, see if the channel likes it, or start a different channel. Put very little money into it, kind of turn it into what we call a yard driver, make all those videos on it, take it up a notch, and maybe just sell it. You're just borrowing things anyway. I mean, we don't get to live forever, so maybe just be a steward to it, fool around with it, have a good time with it, and sell it, put that money aside, and then if I get one that I like more, or that's in better shape, or whatever, and there's a lot of them around. Like, I could take a few of them and part them out, keep the parts I need for my projects, sell off the rest like I used to do with the Mustangs and the Nova. I mean, the Nova that I had took 5 cars to build, and one of them, I'm sorry, I threw out because it was the Pontiac Ventura, which is really kind of neat because that had a nice grill on it, and it had the 350 Pontiac engine in it, which is a nice engine. So 60 T-Birds are cool. Wraparound dashes, yeah, they're just really He says, a nice 394 barrel. Exactly. Now, that Ford 55 had the Y block in it. And as I was saying to my buddy, I'm like, I wouldn't mind that. I don't need another Nova engine like what I built. That was like 10 grand. I can't even afford to turn that engine on. That thing, if I went out for a cup of coffee, a pack of cigarettes up the block and came home, it was $60 for everything. Like, it's between the gas and the cigarettes and the coffee. I'm like, I can't live like that anymore. I don't have that kind of coin. It was gas mileage by the foot. It had wonderful power, ran great in any weather, had the AC and everything. And it was also mint. So I always felt weird because if you leave it out in the rain, it's getting ruined. You leave it out underneath the tree, it's getting ruined. Somebody scratches it. It was constantly getting scratched, little nicks and dings, little chips. I just don't want the hassle. I want something that is yard drivable, that I can fool around with, enjoy it, kind of get my face and my hands back into that old car thing. It's in my blood. And then if I keep it, fine. If not, sell it, you know? Yeah, the Nova Ventura Omega Apollo. That's, yeah, if you rearrange the word, so it's, if you were to rearrange those, it still spells Nova. Yeah, because you get the Ventura, the Omega, which is the O, the Ventura is the V, the Apollo is the A, and there was the Buick, let's see, the Oldsmobile Omega, the Pontiac Ventura, the Buick Apollo, and there was another one, I think. I'm thinking something like that. Yeah, Chevy, Pontiac, Olds, Buick, and everything interchanged on those cars. Now, the T-Birds are basically just, they're like the Mustangs. It's a bigger version of the Mustang. It's a unibody. It's that typical unibody. I don't really care for them, but it's pretty beefy. It's a little bit beefier. And that's not the only car, right? There's a lot of other Fords out there and what have you. And I might go back to Ford because I've been in Chevy, I've been in Pontiac for a long time. I started off with Fords for the most part. I've had Galaxies and stuff like that. I might want to go back, but I want to go back to something different. And I want to go back to something that people haven't really touched all these years. They just haven't. So those prices are much lower and they're very available. And the more I look on Facebook Marketplace, I'm like, there's another one. Look, there's another one. That, and there's this really cool, maybe if I have time later, I'll show it. There's somebody around here is selling, I forget what year it is, but it's a John Deere diesel-powered, full tilt lawn tractor with the hydraulics. It's just got the deck, but all the takeoffs are there. It's in really nice shape. I think he's only asking like $2,000 or something for it. I'm like, I really wish like YouTube would do better, right? Because then I could afford this stuff and put it on the channel. And I love stuff like that. Like, this should be mine, I need this. Yeah, Plymouth Nash. Yeah, those were nice. Yeah, John. It might be a 332 because it's pretty big. It's about the size of my Simplicity Sunstar. So it's kind of neat. Let me show you this stuff here real quick. Let's go to the right monitor. Let's cue this up. So this is just a few outtakes of what I'm working on. So I'm just getting rid of some of the rust. It came out mint. Here's Mikey. Let's see. Hold on. I got to get the audio up. Hold on. Let's see. That should be coming from the right monitor. Let's see. It should be on desktop audio, but it's not coming through. Let me just check it. Hold on. I'll fix that. Let's see. Probably because I was listening to stuff through. Yeah. Hold on. You'll see it. Let's see. Here we go. It'll come through now. To change the audio.
What's up, Mike?
Hi, John.
Check this out, fellas. We'll get a better look at it in a minute. Isn't this a classic? What do they call it? 10 horsepower, 30-inch, in the green. Check that out, right? That's a hub locker. It's kind of jammed, but when have you seen that, fellas? I have not seen that. The tires are mint. It was in his friend's shed, right?
Yeah.
And the handle is loose. The bolts fell out. We'll deal with that another time. It's just going to kind of live over here. But yeah, he's got to get out of here. We'll talk more about this later. Look, this is metal. Okay, not the plastic chute.
Metal.
This works. This functionis. Let's see if I can get it to go. Yeah, see? And, of course, this isn't working yet because, I don't know, it's like bent or something ain't right.
Yeah, it's...
We'll get to that.
Blammo
right?
down
and
there.
This, too. This came from, well, other sources, we'll just say.
At the
Let's see if we
dump!
can get this old guy to run, too. A little midget blower. All right, see you guys later.
Let's see, we kick up the next one. Oh, this is just... all right,
so
so this is some
quick
stuff he just
inventory
dropped
break.
off.
So, end of January. All right, just a last look at this thing. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I guess as you pull this pin out, which is a little stuck, but it's starting to move, right? So we'll get that lubed up, and yeah, it's quick and easy. I think I'm going to keep this machine.
What's the BG55?
Because it's worth it. Electric start, which is kind of cool because, you know, us older folk, especially somebody like me with a bad back, that's why I went to a lot of the electric start and stuff, and electric can be good for some of us. This got a little bit broken, but that's okay.
I have another one.
You know, when you have a bad back, you're not supposed to torque or twist. And boy, I'll tell you, pulling a lawnmower when I first screwed it up, that's why I got the electric start Honda. Yeah, these are pretty nice. I like this. The only thing I don't like about it is the plastic top, but it's metal underneath. It's just a plastic cover. That Murray that I just did is just, there's no plastic. It's just metal and it's cleaner. Basically the same thing. Probably
yeah, I
made by
know.
the
The
same
tilt
damn
chute is
company. It looks
beautiful.
the same transmission, same auger stuff.
That's the same as the Murray. I'll show you.
You know, it needs a scraper, but it looks like that scraper is either worn out or it moved. But we'll get another scraper for it.
I think it
We'll
moved.
turn around the other way or whatever. It might have moved. It might have just slid. Nice bearings in there, right? You probably can't see it, but it's got nice, you know, real bearings in there. Let's see if we have any movement. Not a lot of movement that way. Somebody put some new pins in it. Look, fellas, there's new pins. There's good pins in it. So somebody would, you know, knew enough to say, all right, let's not put cotter pins and bolts in and screw everything up.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the little still, we're going to bring this in.
I see one of those
He pulled
augers
on
is
it.
bent.
It pulls. It feels like it's got some compressionis. Yeah, that'd be a nice little thing to have laying around for a quick shop clean. That's what I like about the smaller ones.
Shop
They're
room.
perfect for just blasting the shop out real quick. In the garage.
It probably still works.
Ooh, can't wait to fool around with this.
I know.
All right, I'll see you guys later.
I got a wet spot. Let's see, is there anything else? Oh, look, it's getting a little bit of that on
simple
there.
as that. Let's go find some color for it.
Yeah, here we go.
All
Good,
right,
nice
implement
that came.
paint is on. It's a Massey Ferguson
Light
color.
coats.
And then, you know, on top of the Rust-Oleum Rusty Metal Primer, we're going to hit a few other areas too. Let me spin it around the other way, and we got to mask off a few things. And then I also like to put a little bit of clear on top. It makes it, yeah, it's already starting to tack up because the implement paint will take a day to dry. So I can start working with it. I can blend it in a little bit better. It's just very light coats, fellas. You're talking super light coats. You just want to cover and blend. Looks good. We've got a couple little areas to do over here and on the top, and I'm going to do that now. So you got there, and then over there, and then what you're doing is you're spraying this way, not that way, so that all the overspray goes onto the good area. We're just going to kind of block off that sticker. I think it'd be a good idea.
It came out really nice.
Like deer.
I don't think I took a shot of it.
And then we'll put a little primer on it, let that dry, and we'll touch it up.
It's such a... Let me come back. These machines, and I'll show you the Murray. I'll cue up the Murray in a minute because the Murray is really nice. He paid $200 for these machines. One of them, both of them, they did not need carburetors. The carburetors that I'm showing is from one of the town guys, which that machine, when you see it, when it's finally done, that thing is another survivor. That it's effing mint. I love the, Brett says 90s, right? 90s, early 2000s. Like these here, where I am, they will sell if we have a winter. If we don't have a winter, you're going to be sitting on it. And if we don't have a winter, then you can find a lot of these for sale for $100, something like that. They're just nice machines. And that green one is sweet. Let me catch up. Yeah, that's a still blower. Yeah. Let's see. Plymouth Nash. My grandma had a Nash way back in the day. It was a freaking boat. Yeah, they're a little too big for you. Like, even a Thunderbird is a little too assy. Because I was looking at one the other day, and I'm like, well, I could just take a slice off of here and just cut that, bring that in a little bit. We could just we'll move the spring perch up a little bit. We'll get rid of that. Why not? You know, it wouldn't be the first time I took a saw to a car, right? It probably won't be the last. Let's see. Ken says, bigger model was the 430 diesel. I'm wondering if that's what it is. It's in my Facebook's like saved list if I can find it. You know, in the marketplace list. Let's see. That wheel disengages, screw always shears. Really, this one's not sheared, but the little pin that's in there I noticed fell out because you can't the roll pin. You can't when you pull it out, you can't lock it out. And I looked, there's the hole, there's no pin in it. So I got to get some pins. Actually, I'm out of pins. I have like an assortment, whatever's laying around, a couple of handful of sizes here and there. I just need to go get a nice roll pin assortment, like a full kit, the cheap kit. I've been wanting to do that. I think it's even on one of my lists for 2023 is stuff to pick up for the shop. Well, now I need it. So that's good. So I'll buy it. HP, Uncle Mark says, metal chute. What does that mean? 11 horsepower to HO Tecumseh. Those are nice. Let's see. Metal chute. That late 90s, early 2000s, Brett says. Ken says BG55. I said, what was that? A still blower. Yeah, I don't know what it is. It doesn't say a lot. It just says still. And it's really dirty. But he pulled it. Watching him pull it, I'm like, you think it's got compression? Yeah. He's like, yeah, it feels like it's got something there. It was at the dump, which is where we get a lot of stuff. You know, still handheld blower. I think that would make a nice shop broom because I saved a big old Craftsman, like 32cc clamshell style, and the whole motor comes apart. It's all rebuildable, but it's really heavy. I got it going again. I held on to it. It's a much older. It's like a red-bodied one. I also have a black-bodied one for spare parts. I don't think it's going to run again, but it's spare parts. I figured they're really hard to fix because you have to get the fuel lines in there at just the right length in order to put the clamshell together. If they're too long, they'll bind up and it won't work. If they're too short, well, you can't put it together. So, and if they're too long, sometimes you can't put it together then either. And it's a real pain in the neck, but it's such a strong blower. You can run it in any position. It doesn't care, but it's like very heavy. And it'd be nice just to have a little thing with a short nose on it because I just come in here occasionally through here, out through the garage, out through the door, around, I kind of run around the shop. I just blow everything out. I try to put things away, straighten up, and I just run the blower over everything because I make a mess in here. And I like to clean. So I think that would be nice. Yeah, that thing's got the tilt chute, sawtooth auger, which I think one is bent, Brett said. Those are all nice. Needs the rubber paddle upgrade. Yeah, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's nice to do. I have the material for it. Let's see. Nice paint. Yep. Brett says, I had the BG85, but sold it to my buddy when I got my BR400 backpack. Yeah, I don't really need a backpack blower. I just don't use it. I found that I just don't use them. I just like the smaller ones. Ken says, I love my BG86, but for my Echo 580 backpack is wonderful. Is that the one? Love to get the 9010. Is that the one you did on that video recently? Because that blower sounded mint. That was the one that you were playing around with? Brett says, by the way, Arch, I messaged you on Messenger as you could add me. I thought I did. And in fact, I was looking for it the other day. Do it again because I get a lot of messages and I went scroll. It's just like on YouTube. I do get notifications, but who was telling me something the other day? somebody went to go do something. Oh, yeah, it was Renegade. He did something and he asked, I was watching his live show on Friday, and he's like, has anybody seen this or that I put up? And I put it out on community announcements, whatever. I'm like, I didn't get it. I didn't see it. So, send it again, because I did see it. I thought I answered it, but then I went looking for it like a couple of days later, and I'm like, where is it? And then there's all this other stuff. So, yeah, just do it again. Let's see, the 9010 is outright evil. Yeah, right? Yeah. Mr. Morrill, YouTube Live. What do you mean? Wait, hold on. By the way, Arch, message you. Ken says, you on YouTube, Arch? No panel? What does that mean? No, I don't do panel. I'm just on live. Is that what you were asking? I think I went over this one a couple of times before. You bought it straight. Gas needed a piston. I'll message Arch's garage. Yes, either way. Usually I just log on my personal account. Arch's garage is tied to that. Yeah, I generally don't do panels. I don't do panels because everybody does panels. And I don't want to step on anybody else's toes. Plus, I'm not particularly good at that stuff. And then I also would have to run through, StreamYard or something, and that would be 720p and not 1080p. And a lot of the stuff that I do here would come out weird when I went to do that. And then, of course, the framework of the show, like how would I do all the crazy stuff that I do with other people there? I'd have to interrupt them. And so that would require thought and effort and trying to figure out how to do a show like that. And like I said, everybody else does it. And Ken, you do it. And I'm not going to be as good as you guys. It's a different technique. It's a different style. And, the more I think about it, and this is something that I often say to people, I'm like, you kind of want to find whatever niche you can find and stay, find a lane and try to stay in it, at least until you figure out what the hell you're doing. And I only started live shows a year ago, and a lot of the first few months, half a year, it was just completely testing things and fooling around and testing out equipment. In fact, I'm actually testing something right now, which is the microphone here is not going into the camera over there. It's actually going directly into this thing here, into the switcher over here. And my thinking was, well, if you happen to notice that my lips are out of sync with my words, then I need to make an adjustment. And I was just fooling around with it tonight. So this is a video switcher here. It's one of the things that I use along with this software. And this is YouTube Studio. Okay. So, and this is my right monitor, and my confidence monitor, which is 40 inches, is over this way. So I could see what's going on over there. So all of this is I've been trying to figure out how to connect it and develop it. And even when I go on your show, Ken, I'm just still learning how to integrate it with something like a third-party software. And there's a lot of them out there. It's not just StreamYard. There's even some other free ones that will allow you to do 1080p. But people have to download the app. And my concern is that so many people know StreamYard that they don't understand that all they have to do is just, you got Zoom, you got so many other apps you can use. Why certain people have chosen StreamYard, I don't know. There's huge lag with that, several seconds of lag, which is somewhat problematic as well. Let's see. Message Art. I don't have your actual Facebook name or your personal account. No, but you sent me a message, so you have something. Jamie O says far too modest, Arch. Hey, Jamie, and says sync is okay. Sync. What does that mean? You remember, I'm a little slow, right, with stuff like that. I don't pick up on everything. Sync looks. Bravo says sync looks Oh, my sync, something here, but this is Alabama and we talk slower down here. All right, good. So my lips are synced. I'm lip syncing. Yeah, voice to audio. And another reason why I want to do it that way, well, one, it's easier because I could leave the wiring and the setup. I got 2 inputs, so I can kind of like wire this out, eventually get an additional mic that just sits here. That camera that it's mounted to, I want to mount it a little bit more over here, and I want a fixed mount so that I just drop the camera on, tighten up the mount. This is called Arca Swiss. Arca Swiss is the style mount that most cameras use. And you just drop it on, tighten it, and it will always be facing where I want it. It's on a stand, so if I knock into it or I need to go back behind here, which I do quite often to clean or make adjustments, you move it, and then you gotta tweak it again. And I don't want that hassle, so I want to upgrade that. And then I think it was one night we were hanging out, and I was playing guitar, and the fellows were like, "Can you play?" I'm like, I can't play to this because even with the local nature of the connections that I have, there's a delay for me to monitor it. So in my monitor, like I'm not totally monitoring everything right now. Like I can't, our biggest problem we have with YouTube is we have no way of monitoring the entire stream in real time. I can listen to, I could put on like on my laptop or even on this computer, I can put up the show, but it will be several seconds in delay. And as, you know, over a 1, 2, or 3 hour show, it will get more and more behind as you go. You have to refresh it. It will not stay in any kind of live sync. We just don't have good ways that are cheap to monitor the whole show. And when it comes to like playing guitar to this, it's totally the wrong setup because whatever I'm playing to, I'm going to be behind it in an echo, and then I'm going to hear a repeat of it. And when I was playing, I'm like, oh my God, this is freaking my brain out because I'm getting an echo. I'm hearing the real time. I'm getting this echo, and I'm getting almost an echo of an echo, and it's so totally delayed. So I'm trying to figure out all that stuff. One of the things about this thing here is that I can run a microphone over to my amp. I can leave the amp over there. It doesn't even have, I can even put it in another room, in the other room if I wanted to. And I can monitor the feed from it into this studio system here. And whether I do it live or I just make these, my thought was, well, I might just want to make some of these little segue transition pieces, 1 minute and less, you know, like music stuff that I like to put on to different elements, just because I'm into it, right? And then I don't have to worry about copyright. Because I was mentioning this to Renegade the other day, and he's like, yeah, I'm like, I like to use the copyrighted music, and I try to find it. You can buy it. You know, you can essentially buy it. There's a number of places you can get it from. You can get it for free from YouTube. He's like, yeah, but when you do that, right, if, you know, you have to pay from the proceeds, you have to pay the author, right, the band. Okay, I don't mind that. I'm like, I'm a retired musician. I'm like, we've been talking about this stuff for years. Musicians always get the shit end of the stick. You know, back in the 60s and 70s and even the early 80s, here in like Detroit, Michigan, and other places, especially here, there were a lot of places where if you had a decent band, you could get a gig, you could get a cut of the door. You used to get like just like a general floor, show up and they'd give you a couple $100 or $100, whatever it is per person, just to show up. You get a piece of the door. If you had a really good thing going on, you get a piece of the bar, right? The drinks. You got none of that. And after the 80s, that was all gone. And if you're not a wedding band or something, you don't make any money. So I'm like, bro, I don't mind if I had a video one day that hit for whatever reason and there was music on it and I was sharing money with the original composer, I wouldn't have a problem with that. That'd be awesome. You know, it's not, you don't get a copyright strike because it's licensed for you to use it. That would be cool. Let me see what you guys are up to. All right, good. Just message me. I'll find it. Yeah, New Yorkers are difficult. Yes, we are. We are. I'm difficult. It's not just New Yorkers, it's me. Right? I'm very difficult. And Charlie's Meow says hi to you guys. Yeah, actually, you know what? Let me open up because I wanted to show you guys, if I can find it. I wanted to show you guys this, a couple of things that I put on my list. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. I got very. You sent me one. I don't see it. Yeah, you sent me something, but. Yeah, I don't see nothing. This should come. Well, maybe it'll take a little while. Let me see if I can. Where do you keep the saved? Yeah, here we go. Here's saved. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah, let me show you my screen. Hold on. I'm gonna catch up with you guys. Yeah, check some of this stuff out. Now, there's a couple of things I was looking at. Okay. I think Ken is leaving. Ken, are you leaving? He said, I gotta run. Take care, everybody. See you later, Ken. As late as Ken. So here's one thing I was looking at. A nice military container. This is cool, right? Because it's a nice container. And it's got the military stuff in it, kinda. It's wired. It's simple, right? That's like $2,000. There's a nice sandblaster. Here's a nice TMC forklift. And this one, you might even be able to drive it in the yard if the yard isn't full of mud and snow. This is local. It's right around the corner for me, actually. Right? It's a gas, relatively low hours. This is like $2,000. It's nice. Oh, he's got a Grumman sticker on it. Yeah, anytime, baby. Right here. Yep, F14, anytime, baby. Yeah, I got a couple of those small ones. Nice. Then this is nice. Check this thing out. This is actually fairly nice. $4,000. It probably $4,495, but it's not terrible. He's got lousy shots. This is actually the back that I like. I kind of like this back better than the later ones. Oh yeah, T. Yeah. I'll get to it. Interior's still there, kinda. The motor's there. We don't know if it runs. He doesn't say much about it. You could if I look in deep, it looks like the floorboards for the most part are still there. It's got a Ford 9-inch rear, it looks like. I mean, there's something there. Yeah, your daughter's telling me to bop it. It's got the sway bar in the back. That's kind of nice. There's the motor again. The shock towers. There's a history report. There's the number for it. And what's the other one here? We'll get to... Here's a fair lane, right? This one's in pretty decent shape. Now, these are big. Let's see, run my trolley video again, Arch, so Krista can see him. Yes, I'll run the trolley. Christina, let me know before you leave, because I want to run the trolley video. All right, Brett's got a cool cat. It's an old cat, too. This one needs some work, but, it's there. Like, this is what... Look at the yellow. It's like taxi cab yellow and black. I mean, not my favorite color, but, you could work around that. Cool dashboard. I don't know why he took a shot at that, but okay. It's not dead. It's not terrible. There's the motor. That's a Y block. I don't mind that. It's kind of a neat dash. Gives you everything. He's showing you everything. It's pretty much all there. Yeah, she'll get a kick out of the kitty. Definitely. That's a decent looking car. And again, I don't have to keep it. Just put a little love on it and send it down the road. Maybe just make it run. Now, here's a Thunderbird that's been around for a while. The Landau 66. $2,750. Okay? It's not a disaster. I don't mind the Landau, although it will cause a lot of rot. You're going to wind up with rot. And there's those pictures again. And let's see. And here we go, fellas. Here we go. I talked about this in one of my videos. I'm like, these are useless. Okay? Unless you get one for... Well, $275 is not terrible, but it's kind of far, Franklin Square. But these things are huge, and they're heavy. And where are you going to put that? That thing that I got this year for the grinder is pretty nice. Right? This is a nicey. This is a nice one here. Look at this, $400. That's upstate though. It's basically like mine. That deck is in mint shape, which that's pretty hard to find. This is like the one that I have. Terrible shots. I mean, I don't know what the hell he's using a child's camera or something. That's a little further, but I was looking at it. And I'm like, well, this one sold. This is a simplicity. Let's see, is there? Yeah, there's some. This is pretty cool. Sounds good. Yeah, this for $250. I don't have the money, but I would love something like this. I'm surprised Big Mike didn't pick this one up. This one's nice for $250. He was asking $300. I mean, it's totally worth it. Right? It's got the hitch on the back. It's not as big as mine or strong as mine, but I think it was an 18 horsepower Kohler. It says 17, but it's hydrostatic. It's probably 18. I love the way the back seat and everything folds up and out of the way. You can get to everything. I mean, these were nice. It's missing a belt. Looks like something's leaking. Yeah, something's leaking. Probably the hydrostatic system is leaking. Basically the same as mine, just laid out different. It's nice. What a shame. Let's see what else we got. All right, here we go. It's the Deutz Alice. I don't know if this one, it's sold. This is like mine. This is the original variant when Deutz Alice came over. Oh, I wish I could have got this one. This thing's mint. This is basically the same thing, except it's a Deutz Alice when they first came by, and then Simplicity took them over. 1914 Ultima. And she's in beautiful shape. The 14 horsepower hydro. Simplicity made some changes to it, so they were German originally. Look at this thing. It's beautiful. Definitely worth $600, $650. It's gorgeous. Yeah, that's why I need to get some more money, man. I need to get my hands on some more money. Let's see. Here is Come Get This Mower. Upside down. Listed for like $1. Right? But it's got the nice boxer. I call them boxer motors. It's certainly worth $100 or something. Even if it's just for the motor. Right? This is similar to one I have in the yard. Except bigger. This one's sold for $325. I mean, there's a lot of nice stuff out there. A little older one. The deck is kind of beat. It's like mine. But there's parts. Basically the same thing. Yeah, some of this stuff. Brett says it would fit in your garage. You got plenty of room in there. He says, I miss my old Raider 10. Mid-'80s. Yeah, that's what they were. They were all of the stuff. That's nice, which came with it. That's a nice thing to have. So I got to try to make some more money and put some cash away, and because there are cool things, especially for a YouTuber. Like if you are doing YouTube stuff, this one, meh. Somebody said $50. Like this is the kind of thing. It was in my area. For $50, you drag this home. You got some parts. Right, it's worth $50. Let's see this one here. This is the one that I have in my backyard. This is the one that Mike picked up. I think I mentioned to you fellas that I saw it. And I was like, all right. He got it for $160. Right, and this is the one in the backyard that we're going to steal some stuff from. So we got that one. He got it. That's a nice jack, by the way. Nice air jack. $100. Sold. These things are very useful for lifting up all kinds of different things. This is an older T-Bird. This is not too far from me. It's like $1,000. So if you have a way of getting it home, it's parts. Could it be fixed? I don't know. But it's certainly the kind of thing that you could drag home if you want to part it out. There's money in it. Let's see. This was a John Deere ride-on. This one sold too. Cute little machine. Sold it for $100. He said definitely. Mike says, "What's up, Dilly Dilly?" See, Mike, are you watching? That was the one that you picked up. That one I just showed you. He says, "What's up, Dilly Dilly?" He's texted me. This was cool. Let's see. Yeah, that's deadly. Cool, but deadly. They were nice, but dangerous. So it works. I thought that was just kind of neat. Sold it for $125. But nice thing to have. Let's see, there's some other stuff in here. Here's a snowblower. Right? And this is another one, 1951 Ford 8N. It's still listed for $1,600. These were a lot of fun. He says he thinks it's a Ford 8N, but he's not sure. It's not in terrible shape. I've seen these things can become very rough. You know, they're old. I'll tell you fellas like me. But these are fun to fool around with if you have the room for it. Of course, it sits outside like most of them do. Somebody put an alternator on it, so maybe they got it, you know. Mike says, "I need that." Which one? The Ford here, Mike? Text me back. He's like, "I need that." I'm like, "Yeah, it's nice." These are nice. This one doesn't look terrible. Especially for one for sitting out. This is the car that I keep lamenting over, right? That, you know, $5,000. He would have delivered it. I'm just going to go through this real quick because this just breaks my heart. Oh, I'm crying. Here's a Gravely. Yep. Yeah, Mike says, yeah, he wants the 8N. Here's a nice little old Gravely sold for $200. You know? It's got a nice plow on it, and this plow is the kind that, if you see it, registers all the way to the back where all the strength is. So those are really nice. They do a good job. They don't break the frame. It's got the cutting deck, shaft drive, like mine. The plow. I mean, $200. Killing myself, fellas. This one was actually in a movie. It was in like a low-grade movie. This is the movie.
Did you see that doll, that big green car?
Yeah. It's still for sale. I'm going to turn the music down because I don't know if I'll get a strike for it. That's the lady, I think, that actually owns it. It's not that far from me. And this is the movie that, you know. Isn't that cool? She's had it forever. I don't think she is the original owner. I don't know. I don't remember all it. Cop pulls her over. It's pretty cool. And she's cleaning it. Some guy comes and buys it. Some dude. I don't know. I don't remember what the whole movie was about, but you'll see and look at it. This movie is much older, so this thing was wash and waxable when she did it. And when they did the movie, it was really sweet. I mean, that's a nice car. You know? I don't know if there's still music. Yeah, the music's still playing. Yeah, some guy comes looking for it, and he's like, wants to buy it, and she likes him, and they go for a ride, and then he drives it. Let me see the pictures of it now. Yeah, it looks a little sadder. Yeah, 12 volt, right? Yeah, somebody converted it to 12, or tried to, Mike. You know, she looks a little sad now. Look. She's a little sad. She needs a little loving. $3,500. Now, it's not exactly the one I want, but look at it. It's all there. There's some pedigree to it, I guess you could say. And then there it is there. Let me see if I could find the... Here's a nice bend pack car lift. Here's another Ford Thunderbird. Just real quick. This one, the guy doesn't, 2500, the guy doesn't mention anything about the motor. He's never lifted the hood or taken a picture of it. You know, there's some possibilities there. Hey, Backwoods. see, Briggs opposed, yeah. And Brett says, I still want a Mitz and Merrill Chuck and Duck chipper. I don't know what that is. With the inline 6 Ford engine to fool with. Oh, wow, that sounds big. Yeah, I think Ken left already. He said he was leaving. Now, this is cool. This is an 84 John Deere 950. Now, this is a workhorse. It's on the island, right? This is a real workhorse. This is kind of nice. I like this. It's a little too much money, but there's a lot here to work with. It's a little bigger than mine. Of course, it has the cab on it, but it is bigger than mine, you know, than Mike's and mine, Sunstar. And he doesn't give you too many pictures, but that's an interesting thing to have. And let's see, there was this guy. This one sold for $275. 60s Cub. And there's the deck back there. And you got a plow. So you got implements to go with it. He's got some extra tires with chains. Look at how nice that deck is. You know, this is a potential winner. And of course it sold. $275. What am I doing? Where am I? Oh, wait. Here's a cool MTD. We've all had, many of us have had something like this. I think I got one in my yard or two. This is similar to the one that I did years ago when I first started it. It was a Caldor. It was sold at Caldor. And I redid that. And I even did a super clean giveaway with Liz's oldest daughter. Yeah, I remember that. And then, of course, my mother had one of these. My parents had two of these. Right? I would not mind having this. All right? Or something like this. Ah. Look at that. It was like a gigantic Corvette. Front-wheel drive. 400 and something cubic inch engine. It's like 472 or something. I don't know. Look at that. We had a white one and a blue one. These things are nice. Look at that. Look at that motor. I'm dying right now. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful. Of course, it's a lot of money. Look at I love the speedometer, right? This is all taken from, you know, like the LEM, the lunar module, and all the Apollo years stuff. Let's see. Brett was saying hello. If you're still here, hello, John Clem. Brett says Chuck and Duck chippers were the ones tree services used. It fed really fast. Oh, okay. Arch list to Santa, Jamie O says. Hi, Backwoods, Drunken Jim. He says, I have a Snap LT16 with Briggs, the 402437 type 1206-1 code. How do you remember all this stuff? Bravo says, he says, I have a one-owner 89 Tornado Trofeo working on it now. Nice. Did I say that right? Arch is torturing himself. Yes, I am. Hopefully I'm torturing you guys in a good way. Runs great. Gas was 25 cents a gallon. I know. I just remember this speedometer. Whenever my mother drove it, it was always on either 0 or 80. The sound of these engines is beautiful. All right, let's get away from that. Let's get away from that. Okay, hit the back button one more time. Let me scroll down. I want to find the other track that I wanted to show you. It's going to be down on a list of ways. It's a cool little Jacobson ride-on. Look at this thing, right? $300. It's still for sale. It's literally one town over. I mean, I would definitely get that for $200. I mean, isn't that cool? Isn't that just the most, to say the least? It's cool. You know, I'd like to drive around my lawn with that. Yeah. Got the Clinton engine on it. That's so awesome. All the instructions on how to take care of it is right there on the boilerplate. Oh, I so want this. Look at this thing. What a contraption. But everything is there. It's like, it's so cool. Look at that. And it's in nice shape. Yeah, right? You can't even look at a gas pump. They'll charge you just to look at it. Yeah, I remember the gas wars. It wasn't good, though. Then Carter was elected, and we had 74.9 a gallon. Yeah, oh, yeah, yep. That was the whole OPEC thing. Yep. That'll happen again. They're doing it again. Yeah, they're already doing it again. That's why you're seeing it. I might talk about that a little bit. This one sold. This is a Ford 8N, sold for $1,800. It's not far from me, or wasn't far from me. It's a nice piece of equipment right here. Nice to have. Nice to put up on YouTube, noodle around with it, maybe move it along down the road. Get it cleaned up a little bit more. I mean, these are fun projects. People like them. They don't stick around. Here's a nice old Arian snowblower. This is still for sale. $100. These are a bit problematic because, you know, as Brett knows, right, and some of you guys know, the older they are, but they were built very well. But some of these are a little dangerous for snow blowing and stuff. There's a nice car lift jack. It's sold. You know, there's some of the other stuff I'm looking for my, you know, garage and shop. You could pick up different tractors and whatever. Stuff that I may not want to pick up, you know, on my lift table or whatever. Here's a nice old school generator. But, you know, it's sold for $100. It's an 8,000 watt, you know. Look, there's no plug in the hole. Oh, fellas, that's not right. That's bad. Ooh, yeah, I probably wouldn't buy that. Yes, this is the one I wanted to get, that my daughter was going to lend me money. And I liked the center lines. The guy sold it for $2,200, 62. This is more of like what I see. I like the color. I like the black interior. It was just kind of a cool looking, had a 390 in it. And there were other pictures, but I don't know. I thought there were other pictures. Here's a nice Kubota. Let's see, did this one sell? It's not coming up. Yeah, for some reason another. Yeah, the guy. Oh, there it is. 8,000, but this is more of a tank and very useful. But really nice piece of equipment. And what I like about it is it has everything you need on it. So this you could put to use right away. You know, do what you got to do to it to get going and put it to use. Let me see if here's a nice Massey in the back. $3,000, probably 3,500 was asking, but probably went for $3,000. Diesel engine. And this one also is a workhorse. You know, so this just so many great projects. Simplicity grass cutter. Where did that one come from? This is the one I was trying to get my hands on 2 years ago. It's still sitting around. They're asking $300. I'm like, that's a lot of money, bros. And it only fits a couple of machines. Like this one is not the same as mine, but I could modify it and make it work on mine. But it's $300. Ah, here we go. Is this it? This is another one that I wanted to pick up. I think it's sold. Yeah. $100, right? It's the 112, an older one. I almost got this one. Came with that. Nice snow implement. Came with the deck. Just, you know, how could you not want that? With the wheel weights. Let's see, vintage Sears. Guy's asking too much for it. It's sold, but, you know, $500. Now, where is the last one I wanted to show you? There's a snapper. Let's see. Oh, look. This is actually my Nova when I sold it. This idiot. That's a story. Let's see if I... I don't think the video will come up. Let me see. Let's open the video. Hold on. Yeah, hold on. No, let me stop. Let me pause it. Let me come back. So there's a story to this, which maybe I'll tell you guys. Yeah. This idiot. He probably destroyed it already. That's my car. It was. Yeah. Didn't take him long. Very powerful. That's line locks. Yeah. Idiot. Hey, hold on. Let me just scroll all the way down again. Yeah, I know I saved the track that I wanted to show you, but let me just see if I can find it real quick. And I want to come back. Oh, where'd it go? Did I accidentally close it? No. No, it's just trying to scroll all the way down. It has to reload. Yeah, we're going down pretty far. Yeah, I'm surprised it didn't come up right away because I clicked it on my save list. That's the John Deere Model 112. Yeah. Some of these I need to get... I got to get rid of them. I think that's it. Let me come back. I don't know where it is. I just clicked the save button. You know, these things happen. So, Brett, I didn't get anything from you. I don't know why. I'll check again later. So those are some of the cool things that I just wanted to share with you fellas. Not bad. 3-cylinder diesel, yeah. Yeah, I'll just catch a 3-cylinder diesel. Elkskins would love that Sears. I never understood the attraction of burnouts. No, because it just ruins everything. I'll tell you a quick story about that. So I sold it to the guy. He is a sergeant something in a corrections facility, I think on Rikers Island. Nice guy. Met all his friends. When he first came over, he brought his wife. He's got a whole bunch of kids, right? Very attractive black woman, right? And I say that because, you know, nice guy. I like the guy. And we really kind of wanted to, like, be friends. And he's like, I need you to work on this thing because I don't know enough about it. And none of my friends do. He's like, so I'm telling you right up front. Like, I want to bring this thing back. I got stuff I want to do to it. So he gives me the down payment I asked for, and then I said, you have to transfer the rest into my PayPal account. He said, okay. So I don't remember the exact details, exactly what happened, but here's what he did. He didn't tell his wife that he bought it. So what she did was the money that was transferred in PayPal, she removed it. And I was like, bro, you just effing ripped me off. You took the car. It was weird because what PayPal did was I got the money and I transferred the bulk of the money out of the account. And she took it back. And when she took it back, it took what little bit I left in the PayPal account plus put a negative balance on it. And PayPal went after me. And I went back to him. I'm like, what the hell happened? He told me the story. He goes, she took it back. I said, bro, that's fucking illegal. Like, you can't do that. I'm like, you just ripped me off. You ripped me off. I'm like, not to mention you're a cop. I'm like, I don't think they'd be too happy with that because I'm going to sue your ass. He's like, no. He's like, don't do that. He's like, I'm going to get the money. And he got the money. He didn't tell her. I'm like, where did you put it? He's like, I left it at my friend's house. Yeah, because he's got all these kids. She liked the car and everything, but she got a stick up her ass. And maybe he deserved it. I'm not saying, but I'm like, bro, whether you deserve this or not, this is my car, and I gave you a pretty damn good deal because they sold it a bunch of years ago before all the prices went up. I'm like, this is completely unacceptable. What a fucking nightmare. I mean, that was like after I got out of the hospital, was getting divorced, all this other stuff was going on. I'm like, I need more stress. Just selling the car was stress. Just like I never wanted to sell it, you know? I never wanted to sell it. But what a horror. So my daughter, right? She's like, Dad, look what I found in the basement. Let's see if it still works. What happened, T? You burned the batteries out? Oh, I think she burned it. Yeah. Hey.
Party. Solo. I score 100. 100. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it. Pull it. Bop it. Pull it. Twist it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it. Pull it. Yeah!
Oh, I screwed up right away.
Score 11.
I got 11. My daughter gets like over 100.
To start. High score 100. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it. Bop it. Twist it. Pull it. Twist it. Pull it. Bop it. Pull it.
Oh, I was gonna pull it. I'm sorry, I can't do this crap. Ah, it's unbelievable. This is, oops, 1974 Wayne Chipper. It says, look up 1970 Wayne Hopper on YouTube. This guy has one, runs a 318 Chrysler engine. Yeah. I want to show you guys. Let me just go to Brett's channel real quick, but let me just cue it up, and then I want to take a leak. Always got to find Brett's channel. I don't know. Where are you, Brett? You need to post more, bro, so you're up higher on my list. Let's see. I was just looking at your stuff the other day. We were here like last week, I think. Let's see. Where are you? What is this I hear about Tom Dolby is pulling out of the game? What you guys were talking about that? You guys were talking about that on Ken's. What's going on with that? What is he just sick of it? Also, I haven't heard from Zippo in a while. I hope he's okay. I don't know what's going on with him. It's been 5 months or so, but he was here recently. So he's taking a break? No, I can't say I blame him. You know, just for certain. How long has he been doing it? Let's see. Mike says, bop it. Yeah. Bop it. Pull it. That's a cool thing. It drives me nuts, though. My daughter gets like over 100. It's like, I can't. I just can't. Where the hell are you? I have to search for you now. Search Brett. Oh, why is it not searching? I should be able to search it within here. What's the name of it again, Brett? Why I'm not thinking. Why am I not thinking about it? Let me go back to search. Let's see. Shop talk with Brett. I can't find it. Shop. Was it one word? No, it's separate words. Talk with Brett. Yeah, here we go. Let me find the cat one. Oh, he is the cat one. He's the cat one. All right, hold on. You got to put the P-lay. Christina, don't leave yet. I got to go take a quick leak. And while now, I'm just going to pop in a Keurig. Because I'm late with everything, so stand by. I would comment on that, but I'll behave and shut up. Yeah. Yeah, you don't have to behave, bro. No, I got thick skin and a big nose, right? You know, remember Johannes Mitterolis, right? That's John with the big nose. And look out, right? That was great. I thought that was a great name. Johannes Mitterolis. I thought that was an excellent name. Like, if you're going to make up, you don't get to make up your nickname. You shouldn't do that. And I was like, that was just an awesome name. John with the big nose in Greek. That's like an honor. All right, let me find the P lady. Hold on. And then we'll get to the next step. P break coming up. Stand by. Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming. Oh, hold on. I'm coming. Gotta shut the pee lady off. Ah, yeah, she gotta go bed. All right, pee lady, hold on. Finish up. Wipe the seat there, old lady. Let's see. We gotta shut her off. Oh, I gotta go so bad. That's bad. What's up? Let's see who's going on here. Hold on. I have no self-respect. Are you guys talking about self-respect? I gotta put this on. It's getting a little cooler in here. I turned the heat down. With Christina, where do you see this cat? Right, so that's our friend Brett's cat. It's an older cat, right? How old is this cat now? So this cat's got to be like, what, 12, 14? Has cancer T, unfortunately. He lost his other cat, which was younger. So this cat's under treatment. It's still going. It's adorable. And, you know, God's creatures, you know. Yeah, let me get ready. Let me see. Drawing the lizard on the loop like a camel. Let's see. Battery powered even. It's a toy battery masturbation coach. Vid was Charlie and a shop cat. Is that a toy battery masturbation coach? Battery powered. I see she's got a cat, judging by which way. We were just talking about that tonight. She asked me, Dad, can we get a cat? I'm like, the thing is I used to be really allergic to them, but I don't think that's the case. But I don't know how Apollo would react. And he's old. Maybe crazy, but it may be a lunatic show you're looking for. Yeah, that's Billy Joel. And Bravo says, and there is no self-respecting guy on the planet that take a whiz standing up with the seat down. Yeah, if you miss when you piss, bleaker neat. Oh, be neat. Wipe the seat. Yeah, please be neat and wipe the seat. Yeah, yep. Hopefully she's still here. Yeah, let's put it up. There's no audio, but let's see. Let's transition it. Mr. Cutie. You might hear me chomping away. Look. 16 gonna be 17, Brett says. Unbelievable. Yeah, he's getting skinny. Yeah, well, it's hard life, my dog. I've been showing my dog more. Because he's getting old and, you know, I'm like, put him on the channel every now and then. If somebody doesn't like it, they can go F themselves. I don't care, so don't watch my show. I don't care what to say. Put my dog on more often. While he's still here, enjoy the animals while they're here. They're awesome to have. We got to take care of them. Nice. I'm coming back. That was cool. Oh, here's one where the guy's got, it's about Canon lenses, and the dog is in the picture. Like I said, if somebody doesn't like my show because I have a quick spot of a cat in it or something, or a dog or some bird or whatever. I was trying to get this woodpecker. I'm going to see if I can get him this year. See, Blood Nose. Hey, what's up, Blood Nose? If you sprinkle when you tinkle, be a sweetie and wipe the seedy. Dilly Dilly! Yeah. I surely hope I have Darwin that long. He's now 10. Yeah. Darwin makes a cameo on almost every one of my videos. It's just, because they just need to be there. Right? Speaking of, yeah, hold on. Let's get to, let's see. Yeah, here we go. Mike! This is for you, Mike. Stand by.
putting a mix of Super Clean on now. It's a mix. It's not full strength. All right, this ain't going to be the first time we clean this thing. And it's almost dark, so I'll give this about 15 minutes or so. Hit what we can, and then give it a rinse. And I got the battery charged.
Sir Jeremy, you are a true friend of the crown. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. Madam Susan, you are an even truer friend of the crown. Dilly dilly. Dilly dilly. What is that?
This is a spiced honey mead wine that I have really been into lately. So, dilly dilly, right?
Please follow Sir Brad. He's going to give you a private tour of the pit of misery.
I'm sorry, what? Pit of misery, dilly dilly. Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly! Dilly dilly! So, I figured I'd just put in a brief little music interlude whilst I was feeding my face and having some fun with that. Dilly dilly. It's always fun. So that's Mike's tractor, which he's I don't know if he's still watching. Is he still watching? Mike's he goes, that thing loves cutting the grass. Yeah, I bet it does. And that deck is in nice shape, which is coming up a video. This is outtakes from a video coming up real soon. So stay tuned for that. This tractor. And speaking of, I was talking about tractors and showing you all those cars and everything. The Sunstar is a lot of fun, and it's a nice big, beefy, wonderful machine. And it's just, I'm glad I have one. I'm so jealous of Mike's machine because it's cool. It's actually in nicer shape than mine. Let's see. He said pecker, pressure washer. Yeah, Bravo says, I see you got one of those turbo whizzers. Those things really take a pressure washer up a few notches. They sure do. And it's nice, too, because for like the decks, they get rid of all of the grass and the stuff that's junk underneath. If you got rust, it'll even get rid of some of that. If you got flaking paint, it will definitely get rid of some of that. To the Sunstar, dilly dilly. This is Brett says, I got a turbo nozzle for mine and a surface cleaner. Yeah, check out, if you haven't, Johnny, check out his videos on that. Blood Note says, Scotty Kilmer follows Sir Brad. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, I did that Bravo thing. What the hell am I thinking of? I'm not thinking right. Hold on. My brain just went sideways. I did that thing on Scotty Kilmer, and it's got some decent views, surprisingly enough. I was thinking about that, and that's an outtake, so I've been trying to grab some outtakes of some of the stupid stuff I say, because I never know when I'm going to say something stupid. It's pretty much everything I say is stupid, but at some point, some things are more funny than others. And I was like, this is pretty cool. So, well, do I make a short out of it? Well, what is that, 9x6 or whatever the hell it is? I looked at it and I'm like, nah, first of all, shorts suck. You know my feelings on shorts. They're useful for certain things, yes. Which I also wanted to show you, speaking of shorts. I wanted to show you something from our friend down there. Let me get him up. And there's a couple of things I wanted to show you guys. So let's see. I know I recorded it. Yeah. Let me pick this one up in a minute. So I was like, well, I don't like shorts. It's just, they're not for me. And the other thing too is that when you put it in a vertical, you're losing all of my crazy hand movements, which is what he does. He does all of these hand movements and everything. I'm like, this just looks stupid. So it's a parody. So I need a widescreen. And I was like, just keep it in a widescreen and do a minute and 1 second, which is what it is. I mean, it's just a minute and 1 second. So I could just leave it at that. Here, let me just play it one more time. And I want to play this other fellow. Two other guys, actually, on their shorts, which I think shorts are useful for certain things. Oh, yeah, here's Scotty Don't. Going up, Scotty Don't. Let me bring that up. Scotty Don't.
Why'd Pizza Hut invent
I get to play a commercial.
More cheese is better. No one outbeats the hut.
Video play soon. Here we go. Our old buddy Scotty Kilmer has a vid out today about new nanotechnology batteries. If you can understand his voice, it's pretty good. Yeah, I know he's hard to listen to. I can't. Sometimes I can't understand him. Well, yes, I'm like, bro, it's get horrible. some, image stabilization on yourself. The guy has image stabilization on his camera, so everything looks good there. But he's like, I'm like, bro, calm down a little bit. Whoa, slow down. He must be on a lot of coffee and shit. I start to do this. I'm like, I'm trying to get away. I'm like, I just need some space from you, But he's good though. Dilly. So, what I thought was interesting was I'm like, let me see if I can sort of break the barriers down a little bit. And shorts, a lot of times if you do a short, you might get a few thousand views. And they'll stop. They'll just stop. Now you need I don't know, 10 million views to make a few $100s. It's a ridiculous number. And they're useful for certain things, but there's just nothing there for it. Widescreen is it. If you're going to do what we do, what I do, it's got to be widescreen. And so it hit over 2,000 views, 2.1 thousand views 5 days ago. And the reactions were really interesting, which is something that I kind of figured there'd be reactions because I figured there would be some people, if it got watched, there would be some people that wouldn't like it. And then there would be some people that would like it. But I was a little bit more surprised about the reactions. Now, before I get to the reactions, I wanted to show you fellas something from a friend of ours. Hold on, let me cue it up. Let's cue it up real quick.
You're telling me.
All right, here he is here. All right, so this is from Monkey Wrench down in Florida. And this kind of proves my point as to shorts are stupid. Let's listen to what he says. Let me cue this up. Okay. So again, shout out to Monkey Wrench.
Want to beat the YouTube algorithm and get more subscribers out of your shorts? Keep them under 15 seconds. Upload them. Wait 2 hours. If you don't get at least 500 views, delete them. Upload the same short again. Do this every 2 hours for days until they break 1,000 views, and you will start. Want to beat the YouTube
Isn't that
algorithm?
crazy? Hold on. Let me close it. Hold on, fellas. Let me close it. Can you imagine? I mean, his channel is getting there. It's definitely getting up there. He works real hard on his channel. And he's talking about breaking a YouTube algorithm, which is like crazy, all the work you got to go through to do something like that. And that's just to get it out there. Because, first of all, having a really short like that, what the hell are you going to say? What are you going to show? In 15 seconds or something. What are you going to, hey? That's it? It's me, Arch. See ya. What could you do? I mean, what kind of work can you get out of it? How do you contact somebody? How do you share anything? You can't break into that avenue by doing something like that. You'll drive yourself nuts. Who's going to do all of that work? For what? You're never going to get paid on it. You're not going to make any money. And it's not really going to build your channel, because if your channel is mostly like long form, then the people that are watching that will only tolerate 15 seconds, they're not going to tolerate a 10, 15, 20, 30-minute video. The whole thing is just crazy. I like the fact that you can use it for marketing or say hello to people or show something that's coming up or make an announcement or something cool, maybe draw a little bit of attention to your channel. It's somewhat useful. But my stupid long form short is going to probably do better in the long run, because it's a commercial in the beginning, there's a commercial in the end, the whole format is laid out completely different. I can show you a lot more, and it doesn't have to be a minute. It can be whatever. And if you have to go through all of that effort. Now, there was something else I wanted to show you guys. Let's see. Let me find it. I'm going to come back to it. Dilly! Let me see if I can find it. Now, this one has to do with what's going on in California. And let's see. I think it's over here. I think I recorded it. If not, I have the other version of it. I don't know if I brought it back. Let's see. Many more segment, P break, head river, right cam. I don't think I set it up. Let's see. But I did want to show it to you guys. DaVinci Scratch. Here it is. All right, let me set it up. And bye.
All right, so we want to make sure that everybody knows some of the stuff that's coming up here at the beginning of January 1, 2024. Essentially, the state passed legislation saying they're going to get rid of some small gas engine stuff under 25 horsepower.
California.
Which is actually a lot of the stuff that we sell in the store here. There is some what they call preempt equipment that's going to stay around, but it gets a little bit complicated. Essentially, everything that you see here, backpack blowers, handheld blowers, most of the line trimmers, some of the water pumps, small chainsaws, lawn mowers, etc., will no longer be able to come into the state if they're manufactured in 2024. Essentially, we want to help you guys out, make sure you guys have the equipment you need next year. We don't want you to be worrying about having the equipment you need to do your job. So if you guys use this stuff for work or for personal use and you have any questions, feel free to come in and ask us what is going away, what's not going away. We can help you guys strategize so that you can get equipment now and not be worried about the following years to come.
Now, to me, that's what a short is for. And essentially what that guy is saying is, I'll be out of business sometime this year. Come buy everything I have before California, because California won't let you do anything. No, so that's basically what he's saying. But now that's a short. Now, but that's not 15 seconds. It's not uploaded a million times. And I'm not faulting what's his name for it. I'm just saying like what he's basically telling you is shorts are just crazy talk. It's good for what what this guy is showing you. Basically, California, if you're in small equipment, you're out of business. And that's going to come to every state. And that kind of leads me into the other thing. Hold on. I'll catch up here. Scotty Kilmer follows Sir Brad. Note to self, do not say dilly dilly tomorrow at church. Yes, please do not do that. There is nothing more disappointing than seeing a new upload from a fave and it's a freaking short. Right? Right? And it's kind of like this video is poignant. Like, it's sad because it's the end. Really, it's coming. If we don't do something about this, I don't know what the hell to say about that. I mean, I've talked about this before. An overramped Energizer Bunny, Kelly Dilly Dilly. Summer breeze makes me feel fine. But the Moa Man. Mixed to Moa Man. Note to self. Must get up early to catch Arch's live stream. Oh my God, what time is it over there? Oh my God, what's up? So that's a short. And it's sad. And I hope other people in other states don't have to repeat what that guy said. Because that's horrible. I mean, look, essentially what he's saying is everything in that store that's his and still is like, he can't sell it. What the hell is he going to sell? There's no sense to any of this stuff. It's really sad. And like when one of you guys mentioned the gas wars back in the 70s, well, the OPEC didn't want to drill. They didn't want to give us oil. And so we buy it from them. And how we solved that was we went off the gold standard and we went back to OPEC and said, look, we'll create what's known as essentially it's the petrodollar, the oil dollar. We'll protect you. We'll kiss your ass. We'll protect you. We'll do whatever you need us to do because we got the biggest military on the block and you give us all of your oil at discount prices and we'll spread the dollar around the world. Everything has to be sold with the dollar. And we'll protect you, and you just keep giving us the oil so we don't have to pump ours. And that solved the oil crisis, because that was essentially a fabricated crisis, really. and they were in cahoots with each other. Right? See, Mick says, I like shorts better than long pants. Yeah, because, well, yeah, and you look sexy in them too, don't you, big guy? No! He doesn't care. He comes out, he doesn't care. Mick says, shop talk. Hey, Bravo says, vote the bums out, including the green new scam. Yeah, absolutely. Instead of saying, why don't we bring in some of the electric stuff, which this guy in California could easily say, all right, I'm going to bring in some of this electric stuff because some of it's pretty good. I recommend some of the electric stuff to some people, especially for things like the weed whackers and the blowers. And, you know, I'm not a big fan of two-stroke. It's not because of the EPA and everything else. I mean, I'm not a fan of the smoke it blows. I love the power it makes. I don't want them banned, but I think market forces should be something that should determine this. And for a lot of the people in my community that I deal with, and I'm just going to speak to that, I think they're better served with an electric blower, in some cases even an electric mower. And a lot of the stuff, the weed whackers, even for like firewood and things like that, a lot of the homes around here, I mean, we have a lot of trees here, but most people aren't taking down their own trees, but they'll cut their own firewood, for sure. And you could, I mean, we love our electric drills, right, fellas? I mean, we love a lot of that stuff. Electric vacuums, electric buffers, they're all battery powered, and the batteries are getting very good. One of my customers said to me, he says, it's supposed to be like an evolution, not a revolution, not a revolution. And they're forcing it on us like it's a revolution. It should be evolving. But they're just going to force it, and they're going to do it by taking away the infrastructure that already exists, including anything gas-powered. That's their dream. That's their dream. And see, Mike says, it's great. What's great? What's great, Mike? What's great? Let's see. What else? It should be an evolutionary thing, but no, that they just want what they want and they want to make money. And maybe they may also be thinking, well, they're not going to accept it the way we want them to accept it, so let's just force it on them. We'll force it on them by removing everything else, and then they have no choice, you know. But that's not the way it's supposed to go. Let's see. Vote the bums out. Brett says, effing tree hugging bastards. Excuse my language. Mick says, electric stuff is essential. We need to fill up the landfills. Yeah, all right. And that's the other thing. We don't know how to get rid of this stuff. All of our lawnmowers, like I get most of my stuff, me and Mikey get it from the dump. And they recycle all of this stuff. And we know how to recycle this stuff. Lead batteries, for what they are in cars, right? Mike says, I now use DeWalt trimmer now. Yeah, he likes it. The DeWalt electric, Mike? Is that what you're talking about? I mean, we know how we've been recycling lead forever, and we recycle so much of it. In fact, if you look at some of those videos in like Pakistan or India or whatever, you ever see those streets, like they completely repair the battery, like there in the street? It's awesome. But these batteries, we really can't. So when it comes to scale, nobody can even handle these things. Like, what mechanic is going to want to work on one of these cars? Like, you can't pull a battery out and just replace it. You have to have a facility that is fireproof and explosion-proof, and a facility that somebody will insure in case something goes bad, because it'll burn your facility down. Since Mike says, yep, battery, 20 volt. Yeah, they work good. But when you scale up is the problem. That's really where it is the problem for us. But the muckety-mucks, they don't care what we got to go through and the expense and everything. But for the smaller stuff, the cameras, the electronics, I mean, I'm a tech guy. I love this stuff. And if it wasn't for these little batteries, we wouldn't be able to use all this cool stuff that I get to play with. I got a 9-volt rechargeable battery that I use in here. A lot of the guys that use these mics, they use like alkaline batteries. I'm like, why would you do that? Use a rechargeable battery. They last forever. This microphone does not use a lot of juice. I have like 4 batteries. 2 of them I better charge soon because I haven't used them in like 2 years. I just alternate between the 9-volt that's in here and the other one that's in the charger. I often forget to turn the mic off. I come back the next day, there's still juice in it. It's light. Like the 9-volt battery that's in here that is rechargeable is super lightweight. So for a microphone like this that's on one of these insulators, what are they, suspensions, which is a lightweight suspension, a 9-volt alkaline battery is heavy for this. But the rechargeable is very lightweight, and it's very reliable, and they don't leak, and it hasn't blown up. So for that stuff, they rock. Let's see. Yeah, Mick's absolutely right. I like to go the ego stuff. Ed has a few ego things. Yeah, that's what Brett said. Yeah, I've seen some of those. Now, there's some issues we all know about, the blade hubs and a bunch of other things. I mean, that's part of the evolution. Some of us are going to get ripped off when we buy those things. Yeah. If you wait and you watch videos, you know, guys like, well, I don't do anything, but Mick's starting to get involved. A lot of other people getting involved. To show us what is decent, what is not good, just like all the other videos, cameras and lawnmowers and whatever else, will show us what is probably a better choice. Maybe there's updates coming, or firmware updates. I was listening to Mick recently on a show he was on. He was talking about firmware updates. Those are important. But if they're trying to, you know, stay on top of it, well, that's a company that's trying to actually win at this game. And they're going to help us out. But it takes time for a company like that guy in California. You're talking about getting rid of all of his beautiful still stock, losing that. So what's going to happen to still? I don't know. I haven't even thought about that. So he's getting rid of all that stock. Can he stay in business with whatever else he's selling? Can he bring in electric stuff? Will his people buy it, whoever his current customers are? I mean, is there a lag? Is there going to be a lag in his income? Because if there's a lag in his income, that could be enough to put him out of business. Maybe his income can come back from another source. I mean, these are just questions. I don't know. Let's see. So you like the ego. Bravo says we have 1/2 to 2 acre lawns here. Electric just won't cut it in this environment. Mick says that price has to come down. I agree. Unfortunately, the price comes down because we buy them, and some of us are going to get screwed. We're not going to be happy with some of these things. That's how the price comes down. Mick says we have to keep battery stuff running. How else will the 12-year-old keep the 12 hour a day job going? Yeah. True Mick. Brett says we don't want another DeWalt fire. Billy Joel should sing "We Didn't Start the Fire, DeWalt Did." TJ, hey TJ, how you doing, buddy? By the way, I gave a T-shirt. TJ, I think I mentioned it earlier. You probably didn't hear it. Mikey was here, so I showed some footage when Mikey was here. I gave him a black T-shirt. So thanks, because he dropped off this really nice snowblower, which you should go back to the beginning of the video and check it out, because I think you'll like it. You will like this snowblower. Mick doesn't know what a snowblower is. It doesn't really snow where he is, and most of you guys don't even care. Brett and I care. Yeah, I think it's meant. I think Brett's right. I really need to keep it. I got to figure out how to pay for it, but because I owe him a bunch of money. But actually, I just gave him a machine and he sold it, and I'm losing track of what I owe him. But I try to take care of him. He sold it. I couldn't sell. It's funny because where he is a couple of towns over. It's a nicer area. There's more money over there. I mean, his mom's a doctor. Here I live in a little different area, and it's nice here and all. I'm not beating it up, but it's like, and like what Jason is, right? Because he's in a nicer area as well, a little bit more money. He sells things for ridiculous prices. Like I would never even be able to think about getting money like that. Tina says, she says, looks like I have to place my, I have to what? Looks like I have the place to myself tonight. Oh, I see. Oh, well, enjoy, honey. At least you'll have some peace and quiet. So he just says, nice. Yeah, Brett says, yeah, Arch, and I use those a lot. Yup. Mick says, we get snow over here in the UK, but it's just the melted stuff. Yeah. You get, well, where you are in the southern part. I try to tell people that. I'm like, where he is like, it's nice there. That's why your lawns are beautiful. They're like shorter versions than our Kentucky bluegrass. They basically are like what we put down and have to water the piss out of to keep our golf greens going. We can do it here. And the grass will stay short like that, and it will stay really nice. Our weather is very similar, except for the very cold 1 or 2 months. It doesn't always last all month. And then we get at least a full 4 to 6 weeks of ridiculous heat, which generally fries the lawns. Now, this year we had a lot more water. It rained a lot more, and for the most part, the lawns did not go dormant this year. I don't know if that happens to you over there, Mick, but we get dormant. Because I was listening to Mick. I think he was arguing with what's-his-face. It really was the difference between lawn care and cutting your lawn, right? And they can maintain, where Mick is, they can maintain their lawn, and I think they can keep it a little bit nicer in some of the areas here in the United States. Where I am, we can generally keep it pretty good, but you need a sprinkler for, I think, at least a full solid month, maybe a little bit more out of the year. You're going to have to water it a lot, especially on a dry season, if we happen to get one of those. And you're not going to be able to manicure it if you don't feed it and water it constantly. But for the most part of the year, you probably don't even have to water your lawn all that much. It's just when it starts to get really hot, and that doesn't stick around all that long. Did you see the cat? T, did you see the cat? Let me see. She should have. Well, she fell asleep. Let's see. Mike loves the 20 volt. He likes his 20 volt. He says, now I use the DeWalt trimmer. 20 volt. Yeah, I want to get one of those too. Let's see, let me ask her. Let's see what she says. She might be wandering around the apartment, doing her thing. If she didn't see it, I'll play it again. Let's see what she says. I just texted her direct. Nick says, it's bastard cold over here at the moment. Wow. I can't read that last thing because that heart is in the way. As low as 4... We can't down what as low as 4 millimeters over here. That's really tight. You mean cut it down that low? That's really tight. That's how my grass is right now. And it's because it got warmer and it's raining a lot. It's actually starting to green. It will do that. And sometimes it'll even go green and grow under the snow if the snow doesn't stay around all that long and if it's not absolutely frozen. It's weird here. Like it's kind of neat. I like it. I like it when it's short. My neighbor grows, he lets this section in the back just get out of hand. She said yes. Yeah, what did you think? And some grasses here, like the rye, the Long Island rye, hold on. They get really tough. They're like hay. And they become really resistant to anything, like anything, if you let it grow. But it has to get really thick. And it'll grow tall, more than at least 6 inches or so. It'll go. Yeah, she says it's so cute. Yeah, he's so cute. Yeah. I don't have the heart to grow the grass that long. I don't like it like that. It becomes unkempt. It'll fall over. It'll mat. You'll get a lot of debris on the ground that'll get stuck in there. You'll get all that chaff at the bottom, right? It doesn't mulch well when it does that. It's not healthy. You'll kill it eventually if you keep doing that to it. That's almost like tilling your yard. I cut my grass at 4 inches. Yeah, 4 inches is about the average, I think, for most of this country. I cut mine about 2 to 2.5 inches, 50 to 75 millimeters. Yeah, he is a cuddle cat. Yeah, I like to be, in the cooler months, I'll do 2 to 2.5 inches. I don't know what that is in centimeters or millimeters. And the front, I'll try to let grow a little bit thicker. Occasionally what will happen to some of the grasses here is the brown shoots will come up. I forget what you call that part. But it'll come up and it'll get closer and closer and closer to the top. And then that's when the lawn starts to look brown. And it has to do with the kind of grass I guess I have here. I haven't really found a way around that. I've tried overseeding and whatever. Back here with us driving all around the lawn all the time and with the trucks, and Mike was in the back with the truck today. Usually there's trailers. The traffic is so high that I tend to just destroy the lawn, and I don't care back here. But this front section I try to care a little bit more. Back there I don't. And then the very front of the house, I try to keep it nice. So, and it's not a lot of lawn, so it doesn't take much to do. As long as I water it, it usually stays pretty good. I get one brown spot, and that's the end of it. And up there, you could just use an electric lawnmower. No problem. Brett says, I cut mine high because there's some stumps where I had bushes, and that way my mower blade doesn't hit. Yeah, you're going to have to cut those down, dig them out, grind them, mash them up. I did that for a while. I took one of my first tractors, lawn tractors, and I ground down a lot of stuff. Hacked at it, cut it really low. Mick says, wow, that's long. Over here, anything over an inch, and you'll start to get weeds and diseases. Yeah, because you get a lot more water, and I think it's a little bit darker, whereas we can have days where, even weeks, where the sun will go away, and that's when things start to burn and they fry, and that's when I get that brown stuff that comes up. I still would like one of those pluggers, the aerators. They're really expensive. And I've used them a couple of times. I've rented them for this yard when I first got everything going really good. And the dethatcher is nice because if you let your grass grow more, you're going to have a lot more thatch. That's part of, I think, is what that brown stuff is coming up from underneath. I think it's just thatch. It's just created by this particular species of plant. It only happens towards the end of the season, right before everything starts to go dormant. And then around September and October, depending upon the weather, it will come back and it will green up and it will grow again. And if we have a relatively warm fall, it will continue to grow. It won't grow like it does when in the spring, but it will grow and the brown is gone. It gets green again. See, Britt says, nice to see you around here. The sun doesn't set till almost 6 p.m. Yeah, we get these days. The sun is just brutal till like 8:30. Especially in the back, it will burn that area. I get a little bit of protection from my neighbor's house, blocks some of the sun. And then I've got some trees and bushes and whatever, and that blocks a little bit of it. But when we get to the other side, that area will burn if I don't water it a lot. So that's the difference between cutting your lawn and maintenance and maintaining your property. And some people, they think it's the same thing. It's not. One of the guys I used to work with years ago, he's like, I don't understand why people don't make their lawn nice, at least the front. He's like, it's the cheapest thing that you can do to your house and on your property in terms of upkeep or whatever. It used to be very inexpensive. And even if you just do your front lawn, if you keep it manicured and keep it watered and keep it green, a little bit of fertilizer, a little bit of this, he goes, it just looks so nice. He's like, why do people argue over that? It really is not expensive at all, and the property looks nice. It does. But that's lawn care or lawn maintenance. It's, some people just leave their, I don't even know how he gets his lawnmower through that mess back there. He bought one of these new MTD plastic deck, overhead valve, cheesy little push mower things. Meanwhile, he gave me his beautiful Sears Craftsman, fully deluxe. Initially, it had electric start on it, front wheel drive, heavy duty base. It's like 10 years old. He ran it to the ground. There's like literally nothing left of the wheels. I think it was like around the time of COVID. He says to me, because some of us got some money. He says, why don't you take my lawnmower and make it mint for me? I'm like, I'll do that. I'm like, no problem. Never bothered. Finally, it stopped working. Never changed the oil. Never changed the air filter. Would leave it out. And he likes to work on his property too. I'm like, why do you do this thing? Why don't you just give it to me and I'll fix it? He's like, do you have any extra wheels? I'm like, no, I have to order those wheels. That's like the wheel that always goes. Right? They always wear out. The gears die inside because nobody cleans it. Nobody takes care of it like him. I'm like, I could make this thing mint. Well, now I have it anyway. And I'm going to make it mint and I'm going to sell it. And that's one of the mowers you're probably going to see this year. Because it's one of my favorites. It's black. I've done a whole bunch of them. The wheels, you can just get decent knockoff wheels. I work with a company. And they're pretty decent wheels. They're cheap. You go through the whole thing. I'm not going to tell you guys. And it's going to come out mint. And I would almost keep it, but I can get decent money for it. I mean, I don't need it, but it's like my favorite machine around here to do. He just wouldn't do it. Now he's got this piece of crap that was over $300. I don't even think... I probably just would have charged him for the wheels and whatever parts and just did it for him. You know, I tried to tell him, but he... and now I'm getting mad. Let's see, when I worked at the tool rental, I had to use a plug aerator. Yeah, I've rented them a couple of times. They're expensive to buy. Yeah, let's see. I just want to show... Let me show... TJ. TJ, you still here? Hold on. Let me show TJ one more time. Since he's here. Look, TJ. Look, Mikey was here.
What's up, Mike?
Hi, John.
Check this out, fellas. We'll get a better look at it in a minute. Isn't this a classic? What do they call it? 10 horsepower, 30-inch, in the green. Check that out, right? That's a hub locker. It's kind of jammed, but when have you seen that, fellas? I have not seen that. The tires are mint. It was in his friend's shed, right?
Yeah.
And the handle is loose. The bolts fell out. We'll deal with that another time. It's just going to kind of live over here. But yeah, he's got to get out of here. We'll talk more about this later. Look, this is metal. Okay, not the plastic chute. This works.
Oh.
This functionis.
I'm so
Let's
happy.
see if I can get it to go. Yeah, see? And of course, this isn't working yet because I don't know. It's like bent or something ain't right. We'll get to that, right? And then this too. This came from, well, other sources. We'll just say. We'll see if we can get this old guy to run too. A little midget blower. All right, see you guys later.
All right, hold on. Here, TJ. Here's the last one, real quick.
All right, just the last look at this thing. Yeah, this is pretty cool. I guess as you pull this pin out, which is a little stuck, but it's starting to move, right?
TJ's going to
So
be
we'll get that looked up, and
jealous.
yeah, it's quick and easy. I think I'm going to keep this machine. I'd like to give him at least a honey for it because it's worth it. Electric start, which is kind of cool because, you know, us older folk, especially somebody like me with a bad back, that's why I went to a lot of the electric start and stuff.
It's
and electric
beautiful.
can be good for some of us. This got a little bit broken, but that's okay. You know, when you have a bad back, you're not supposed to torque or twist. And boy, I'll tell you, pulling a lawnmower
easy.
when I first screwed it up, that's why I got the electric start Honda. Yeah, these are pretty nice. I like this. The only thing I don't like about it is the plastic top. But it's metal
But it's not
underneath. It's just a
broken.
plastic cover. That Murray that I just did is just, there's no plastic. It's just metal and it's cleaner. Basically,
Oh, I know
the
what I want to
same
show you
thing.
guys after this. Hold on.
Probably made by the same damn company. It looks the same transmission, same auger stuff.
See, that one
But
blade
this
is
one's in nice
bent.
shape. Look at it.
Or maybe, I don't
it's-
know. But it
needs
looks
a scraper,
bent.
but it looks like that
A little bit
scraper's
more
either
so.
worn out or it moved.
Maybe I'm wrong, but
But we'll get
something
another
not
scraper
right.
for it. We'll turn around the other
Could just
way.
be the
or whatever.
angle
It
of
might have
looking
moved.
at it.
It might have just slid. Nice bearings in there, right? Probably can't see it, but it's got nice, you know, real bearings in there. Let's see if we have any movement. Not a lot of movement that way. Somebody put some new pins in it. Look, fellas, there's new pins. There's good pins in it. So somebody would, you know, knew enough to say, all right, let's not put cotter pins and bolts in and screw everything up. And then, of course, the little still. We're going to bring this in. You know, he pulled on it. It pulls. It feels like it's got some compressionis. Yeah, that'd be a nice little thing to have laying around for a quick shop clean. That's
Yeah,
what I
it's
like
gonna be
about the
nice.
smaller ones. They're perfect for just blasting the shop out real quick.
But the same thing with the battery ones. So I'm coming back. I want to show you that other empty Murray that I'm working on. But that's nice. It's just a nice machine, right? Of the vintage that I like, with a lot of these that I'm working on. What more could you ask for, you know? Just a nice machine. I'm so happy to have it. I like the green. I was kind of sad that I got rid of that little rider, but you know, I needed the money. But like I said earlier, I think it would be a good machine to add to my stuff, my arsenal, especially because the 826 is so overpowering and it's difficult. There's no electric start, etc. But that was why I really was looking at that and just enjoying it for what it is. I'll try and fix it this year. I'll try and put it for sale. I'm not going to ask, you know, I'm not going to give it away because when it doesn't snow here, people don't want to pay. They don't have the money. I get it, but I'm not giving that one away. Sorry. Right? If I put a number on it, it's going to be a pretty substantial number. And none of this, you know, offered me $200 nonsense. No. Because if it really snowed big and hard, boy, that thing would sell for $600 easy. Then I might give a little bit more money. But yeah, I'll hook him up. I want to show you guys the other one too. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Really nice and clean. But I also want to mention though, on that thought of the OPEC thing, because I watch a lot of business stuff, and one of the things that's been going on now is like the Arabs aren't drilling again, because why take it out of the ground? The same thing the Chinese are doing is they bought up, I don't remember what the number is, 30% of all these cobalt mines and everything. They're not even digging them. They just, when things get like this, because of the fall of the dollar, we no longer have the petrodollar. The Arabs don't want to be involved in it. They're beginning to work with the BRICS nations. They're essentially buying up the gold. They're buying up a lot of these resources, and they want to have their own financial system outside of the existing financial system. And one of the mistakes that, essentially, NATO and the UN made was to do what they did to Russia, because it actually pushed them even further along. They don't trust these countries that are involved in the Western nations anymore. They don't trust them because, well, the United States stole the money that was in that banking system from Russia. It gets really involved, but what you're starting to see is the same thing kind of happening for different reasons back in the day, and even similar reasons. It's this arrogance of the Western nations that they think that they could do whatever they want, except that was then. That was a long time ago. And since then, all of these, what we used to call third world nations, they're not called that anymore because they're not that anymore. They're actually emerging markets. And there's some really serious disconnect between the business people and the government people. There's some weird thing going on because a lot of companies are now way more willing to work with, quote unquote, the BRICS nations because they see them as emerging markets. They have people, lots of people, billions of them, and they have resources. And I think some of these guys are probably salivating to get themselves a piece of that. And with the falling dollar, it's becoming almost impossible because if the dollar falls, so is all of the other currencies that are tied to it. Particularly when you're referring to the Western countries, it's, inflation, right? And inflation effectively, what it does is it slows down the velocity of money, which means we can't buy as much stuff as we would normally get. You go to the grocery store, you're coming home with 1 or 2 bags. 2 years ago, it might have been 3, 4, 5, 6 bags. And it's like that across every avenue of purchases for whatever it is that we do. And that just destroys the velocity of money. And I think a lot of these other nations, these BRICS nations, are seeing this and they are concerned. Mathematically speaking, when you devalue something like a dollar and all the other currencies are tied to it, at some point for a fiat currency, it will crash. If it's worth, we've lost 70, 80% of the value. And with the kind of money that, in particular, the United States has been spending, if you look from the beginning of the country to about 1980s, we had $1 trillion in debt. We're now something like 50 trillions. Just this past administration has spent more money in the duration of its time than has been spent since the beginning of this country. Mathematically, that's Rome. And like every other fiat currency that has ever done anything like that or gone through this, it will fail. And I think the BRICS nations are just waiting, sitting back. They'll buy up these resources and buy up these lands wherever they are. They'll make their arrangements and they'll sit on it. Because they can't really build more stuff because most of us can't buy it. So that's that. Let me show you the MTD before I head out of here. Let me see if I can find it. I think it's pretty sweet. Because I just finished it. Oh, yeah, this is it. Is it a yard machine? Let me see. I think this is it. There's been a couple of them. Here's the Murray. Yeah, here's the Murray. Yeah, I'll just run through it real quick. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah, Murray. Same auger as the Craftsman. Looks like the same, transmission, same setup. Little different tires. Same Snow King style motor. I like the top better. The only plastic is, the light. I just finished this one. This is sweet. It's got the metal chute with the same chute. This one, is this the same one? No, this is the other one I'm working on. Right, this is the one I showed you I was doing some painting and everything on. Which is also a nice machine. It's just a little smaller. Yeah, here's the yard. Right, that's the other one. Okay, I think that's it. So these two, the one is finished, the Murray is done. I think those are the only pics I took of it, other than the ones I sent to him. Yeah, I got other stuff that from working on it, but not bad. I wouldn't mind it. I wouldn't mind having that. You got it for a good deal too. Yeah, Brett says a couple of grand a piece for those machines. Yeah, those things are really nice. So I'm not letting the Time Master go, but for the right price, I'll sell the Snowblower for a new one, electric start. I hear you. Yeah, it's hard to find those lawn that kind of lawn equipment. They don't get used all that much. They're very expensive, as you mentioned, to buy outright. Rentals usually have them, or lawn maintenance crews. There's no reason for them to sell them. If they take relatively good care, they don't come up on the market all that much. And when they do, well, they're expensive. And, even if we had a nice yard and we wanted to take care of the whole yard and have those, you'd be spending a couple of grand to have them around, and you better store them right? So you got the garage for it. But they're kind of hard to find. So, yeah, I don't blame you, Brett. You wouldn't want to let that one go too fast. And would I sell my 826? Not right away. Ours were Ryans. Both were Briggs powered. Nice. Yeah, I'm familiar with those a little bit. I've used them a couple of times, so I have some experience with them, but I've never had the opportunity to fix one. Or service it. So I don't really do that kind of work. Although I wouldn't mind a contract with somebody. That would be kind of nice. It'd be nice to have some more contracts, kind of get some work in like that. But, maybe one day these machines that I just showed you belong to, like, I think I mentioned it, a fellow that is a younger guy, and he's got basically a lawn maintenance / contractor style business. And he's got a couple other snowblowers that I think he'd like to drop off at some point, but he's testing me out with these machines. He's watched the channel. He likes what I do. He likes the way I kind of rub my dick on everything. And that's kind of what he wants. And my prices are good. So he'll get these back. I'll be done with the one I'm working on. If not tomorrow, then early, like Monday or something this week. He already knows the other one's done. And then that's the guy that dropped off the Time Master that he wants the Kewl motor put on it. So I think he's looking to see how I'm going to do on these. If he's happy with that, then the Time Master is here. I'll do that for him. And then maybe the snowblowers next season, the other snowblowers that he has. Not to mention any of the other equipment. And he's getting smart. He's like, I'll buy a couple of these for a couple $100, give him the arch, let him go over them. The bones are great. And then he's got plenty of machines. If the snow really hits hard, he can give them to his guys and they can knock out jobs. Or he can keep one or two around, always in the rear, just in case something breaks. Because like he said to me, I said, it always happens. It breaks right when you need it. Sometimes even if you do take care of it. So, see, Britt says, I used to have a very old Ryan Renault thin Thatcher. Wow. Was powered by an old Clinton engine. By the way, did you see that cast iron one? Did you see that little lawnmower thing that I was showing you, right? That, what was it, a Jacobson, whatever, with the Clinton engine on it? Isn't that cool? There's some cool stuff for sale in my area. Some of it was a little bit out of my area, but on the island for the most part, except for I think that one or two things I happen to like that was out of state. Okay. But, you know, if it's rare enough, I could figure out a way to get it if I had the money for it. That's why I want to try to work a little harder at everything this year. And hopefully, you know, if YouTube does a little bit better, I mean, it's the YouTube money that really, it's not so much about paying bills. I mean, although it helps, but it's, if you want to do some different content, there's some nice stuff out there and we can get our hands on it. We don't have to spend a lot of money. There's some fun stuff out there. Mike's dropped off this machine, little young Mike, and Mikey, Big Mike, right? I'm working on his machine. We also got there's another Cub Cadet out there. I got some of those old Craftsmans I want to go through. So right away, without being greedy, I got a bunch of cool machines to go through this season coming up. I got the mini bike, I got the motorcycle. So I got to clear all those decks. But as I'm doing that, and if I can really put a big dent in all that, at some point, I'm going to be looking for the next cool project. And I also have that old Sears, and I've got another motor for it. It's a cast iron Takumi. Old cast iron Takumi. I want to go through that, see if I can get that cooking. I remember, by the way, I had a Clinton on a Stanton mini bike, and it was like the fastest mini bike in the neighborhood. And I hot rodded that old Stanton. A Clinton, rather. Stanton mini bike, Clinton engine. Those Clinton engines were cool, like my old two-stroke Park Lane with the Power Products rope start engine. Yeah, that one that's sitting in the corner, yeah. Yeah, that was cool. That was definitely cool. It's nice to have a little bit of, I guess, stock, you know, sitting around. You know, you want something to fool around with and something to keep. Like, I don't want to get rid of everything, you know, and sell everything. But I think at some point you just kind of borrow this stuff and you keep it. If you wind up running out of space, like Mick has those, you know, he bought up that whole lot of those nice barrel mowers. You know, at some point, like, you can't keep all of them, so you're buying them to sell, fix them up, sell them, parts inventory, establish yourself, because when you have that many, right, you've just instantly established yourself as being the guy that does that. And then, of course, you're going to want to keep certain things for yourself. But at some point, you start to run out of room. And then you got to start thinking, well, all right, now I'm in a good position. What do I really want to keep? What can I keep? And what can I sell? You know, and put that money and pocket it and maybe put it towards some new inventory and some new stuff. Secret says, we're cool, like my little two-stroke park line. Sitting behind the giant parking lot vacuum with an 8 horsepower Briggs flathead and no bag. Yeah. Yep, that's where it's sitting. But you never know what else you might come across. I think that's kind of the cool thing about it. You know, you have no idea. And it's funny to see some of this stuff come up on Marketplace. It's like I got those big old ground blowers that I want to work on. Now, one of them I'm sure will sell. Whichever one is obviously easy to put together and fix and get it running, I'll sell. But at the very least, I really like those big old Briggs motors. They're just kind of cool. They're easy to work on. They're fun to work on. I don't need one. They're kind of old and beat. But I think between the two of them, I should be able to get one of them running. And I think that'll be fun to do, especially on for a YouTube thing. And one might just become parts. I might wind up throwing out half of it. So what? I'll probably wind up, anything can kill it. If there's too much rust, if a bearing is bad, if somehow, I mean, I pulled them over, they kind of move, but that doesn't mean anything. There's a gigantic blower thing attached to it. So that does make things a little bit more harder. They might blow smoke. One might not. So it's going to be just fun fooling around with that to try to figure out which one of these two things is not like the other. And then we can get running again and sell it. And then what really is the parts. Unless by some grace of God that I wind up working on them and they both run really well and they just need cosmetic. And you don't have to get crazy with the cosmetics on this stuff. I use very little paint on these machines. It's like the effort is put in and it looks a little bit nicer. And a fella knows that when he's buying it, he starts it up. It starts right away. It doesn't blow smoke. It obviously looks like you put some time and effort into it. And when you say, look, I've taken it apart, I've gone over it, I cleaned the ignition system, I checked the compression, this is what it was, I put another carburetor on, I did this, I did that, I cleaned it up, it runs good as you can see. They kind of look at it and they go, yeah, all right. And they don't argue. And as long as you can match price to your effort, people buy it. Like, they buy my stuff within a few days, to sometimes even a few hours. And some things that are a little bit weird, if it's out of season, yeah, that's another story. Then I give it to Mike, and somehow he sells it. Because it's a different area. So, that vacuum is loud. Not much of the engine, but the yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those are noisy machines. And I got the chipper, too, in the back. So you guys were talking about chippers today. And I've got one of those, too. I got the one you have, Brett. Basically, it's the same thing. It's sitting on its face, ass up, to try to keep some of the water off of it. I cleaned it, I dried it, and then I left it out because I ran out of room. So that's going to come up at some point real soon. I don't really need it, but I think if I get it running again, I think I'll get a couple $100 for it. They don't get used all that much. I mean, it's a brush chipper and stick chipper and garbage chipper. No bag, just a dump. Same one that I think Mailhouse was talking about. Very similar model. Hopefully the motor's okay. I pulled it over. It feels like it's got compression, but again, that's got another big whizzy cutting thing on it. That's got a lot of weight to it, and it can be difficult to tell if it's actually got compression or not. So, we'll see what happens. That'll be fun to clean up and sell. I actually got to get some of that gray paint. What I need to get, he says, you can actually feel the whir of that impeller in your clothes. Yeah, I bet. Another thing I need to get is, I need to get that silver gray paint, that Craftsman-y silver gray paint. I have the green, and I have the part number for the green. It's expensive, but I don't use it that much. I'll be using it on the snowblower, though. But I want to get that silver because it's on a number of older Craftsman machines, and it's also a nice color. So if I have a similar color match and I decide that I want to paint something else that color, at least I have that color. Because a lot of the lawnmowers, the older lawnmowers that I get, they're also that color. It's very close to it. I want to say it almost feels like there's a bit of metallic in it. But there may be two variants to that gray, that older Craftsman gray. So that's something else I want to get my hands on in the future, is figure out exactly like what I can do with that. They had a silver and then they had a darker gray. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I don't know what they really look like because I haven't seen a pristine example that I can remember. I have some examples outside, but they're not like pristine examples. So it's a little confusing. They're bleached, and speaking of bleach, where's bleach? Like Hammer, yeah. Yeah, like the Hammer tone paints, like that Rust-Oleum has, those are nice. I actually did a lawnmower, custom machine like that. Guy still has it. I did a silver and a black. But this isn't hammer tone. Similar to that without the hammer effect. Yeah, the hammer mill, hammer tone finish. Yeah, it's similar, but it's not as lumpy and bumpy. It's smoother. But it's got the right color tinge, hue and everything to it. And then there's a darker one. So like you said, yeah, there's a silvery gray, and then there's more of a gray. So if you could figure out what that is, let us know. Make a short out of it. That's what shorts are good for. That kind of stuff, They're very useful for communicating things like that. And they help your channel. I just would not ever think to build my channel on shorts. Or in my shorts. Yeah, that's like Battleship Gray Metallic. Yeah. I think I picked out a few examples and I might have threw them in one of my Amazon wish lists. But I keep saying I got to solve this problem because there's just too many of them too many machines that I come across that I think it would be nice to make them a little bit nicer and just know that I have that color nailed down. The green I did because I'm very passionate about that color and those machines. But some of the same machines come in this gray or silver. So that's cool. All right, it's almost 3 hours. We're 2 hours, 59 minutes, and 52 seconds. And I'm going to get out of here. I had a good time. Enjoyed hanging out with you fellas tonight. And that was a lot of fun. And Brett, you got your job, which is kind of cool. I'm looking forward to solving the paint issue. And I was also thinking about, well, what orange or what color do I want if I wanted to spray? Well, I want to touch up Mike's Sunstar. And notice the different colors. And you'll see that in the upcoming video. They're actually slightly different colors. Is it because one's more bleached than the other? I don't know. So I need an orange-y Sunstar. I should just ask, maybe I'll send an email over to Zippo. But I was thinking for mine, I might do like a Massey Ferguson color, like the red or something like that. Because the red and the black would look hot. Because I don't have to get it original. It's easy to paint over, close colors, but I don't really want it orange. It's too big of a machine to be orange. All right, I'm out of here. Chevy orange for the Sunstar. Yeah. Yeah, Bravo would like that. Yeah. I didn't even want to paint my Chevy engine Chevy orange, because orange is weird. I'll see you guys on a round trip. I'm out of here. Later, guys.